Welcome back, everyone, to... Okay, I gotta send the test off here. Welcome back to another episode of Bars of New York. It's been quite the week, a 10,000 year long week, in fact. As we
You ever have those weeks?
Yeah, it's every week. It's every week.
I'm scared.
I hate it here. I've become so numb.
I can't feel you there.
I've been on a really big kick of that kind of music lately.
Yeah,
I'm going down the streets in like deep Queens, being like,
You have feelings.
"No, break me down,
Marry me.
You've got like the people going back with their groceries, like, what the fuck is that kid?
Oh god, fuck me up.
Anyway, we have quite the session planned today.
Yeah.
Quite the session indeed. But before we get into any of that, if you are new here, welcome. Whether you're new now, watching us live, or new listening to us later, we are happy to have you here. We're on the cusp of Act 2 of the Regulus Genesis campaign, but before we get into what that means and what that's actually called, because I just fucked up my own title there, a few announcements. The regulars include definitely jump on our Discord. We have been surprisingly, internally at least, text-based as of late. And I know, Hannah, you posted a little clip of what we've been doing earlier on our Discord, and I think I'd love to share some more of that so you guys can see what we've been up to, because it's been a fun week. So definitely jump on the Discord if you're not there already. That's where we're active for the most part for the bulk of the week. Check us out on Instagram too. That's where the most of our giveaways have been and will be sorted out throughout our future. And it's where we've connected with most of our community. Speaking of which, we have now a 2 weeks, running on 3 weeks guest of the Legends of Alos stream. So you want to speak on that for a moment?
I will be over on Legend of Alos again next week. And it's a great time over there. They are our people in many ways. And you should come over. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. and it's a chill hang, and I just helped them escape from being wrongfully framed for the murder of the king.
Always classic. A classic move. You know when the king gets killed and everyone else but the right people get blamed for it? Yeah. A frequent occurrence in these fantasy lands. If you're looking to become a king, my recommendation is don't do it.
Don't. Yeah.
Don't do it. Avoid that.
Don't choose to, at least.
Anything else?
What you're referring to is the plot of Game of Thrones.
The plot of Game of Thrones, Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings, Dragon Age Inquisition and Origins. Most of the ruling elite get killed there. A bad time. Also, history. Being a king, not a great idea.
Damn.
Not a great idea.
One announcement. The backlog of Campaign 1 has finally all been uploaded to podcasting networks. You can find it on Spotify or yada yada, all the way up until the season 1 finale. So it's all up there.
And that was a doozy.
Oh,
that
that
finale was a doozy.
Yeah.
Check that shit out if you haven't, because that will, once Act 2 of Regulus is done, we'll be heading back to Cordia or Mobio.
Mobio.
Mobios. The yassification of Mobio.
The yassification of Mobio.
I'm sweating.
Wait, I
It's
should
never
make
too
a
far
pink
away.
logo, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Great. Brilliant. Fabulous. So, before we can get back to any of that, where we are now is quite something. So, to help us break in Act 2 of the Regulus campaign, titled Regulus Evolution, the tarot card has to be pulled. And they've been getting spicier and spicier with each pull here. So, still using the same pool, because we're in the same world. Kyle, begin cycle 2.
That deck is getting lean.
It's getting lean. I'm only
Quite
using
lean.
the major arcana and a couple of my favorites, so we'll maybe replenish, but no, we won't. 10 weeks? We have more than 10 cards in.
Yeah.
What do we get?
If it's the tower card, I swear.
No. It's even better. It is the moon.
Okay, it doesn't get
how does this
crazier
happen?
than that. That's
Sorry.
what I'm saying. We are in the realm now. The
I've turned
moon,
it down.
beyond
Already.
meaning what it says on the tin, right? There is, the moon signifies intrigue and mysticism and a cycle, basically, right? Really interesting stuff. If you're a tarot scholar, I implore you to look up this. Even on Dragon Age Tarot, they throw the lobster reaching for the stars on the moon.
Rock lobster.
And that has its whole own history there. The moon having its ties to the sea and whatnot. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. Excellent pick today. So, with the moon, the new moon, hanging over us all, allow me to set the tone for you, my players, and you, my audience.
Do it.
For Regulus, 10,000 years after we last left it. Things have changed, as one could expect with such a passage of time, but Regulus is a world that is filled with magic and forces beyond mortal comprehension, and those forces, as you guys well know, have been weaved into the fabric of this world from the very, very beginning, and that hasn't gone away for the last 10,000 years. If anything, the denizens of this planet have only learned how to harness those forces more, as the gods that we left have now, some of them, spent their years on the surface of the planet, guiding these mortals. So, what was a very primitive nation to the west of the continent has now evolved somewhat into a collective of city-states that branch up to the north. They verge against these great mountains and rocky outcroppings, and to the east they brush against the sort of marshlands that lead towards the great gnarled forest of the Heart Wilds that we know and love. But these western city-states are where the humans live, they are where the gnomes live, they're where the halflings live. Along with visitors from others, you can find elves there in the mortal states. You can find most sorts It's a place for pretty much anyone, and they are known, as I just said, as the mortal states of humankind. And this is comprised up of 12 city-states. 6 major city-states, 6 minor city-states. All linked together by a governing body known as the Coalition of Greater Order. And we can think of this very similar to the Roman Republic, right? Not, the way they specifically governed it, but or the way the Grecian government worked, right? You have delegates coming from each city-state to the home of the coalition in the central state, Palatine, and the capital, Kalanthus. And that's where we'll find the story starting today. Each of these states gets 4 delegates, with Kalanthus getting 8 as the Senate, right? These are all senators. Well, well, I was really going to avoid that. It's called the delegation. They are delegates, but they are referred to as senators.
That's enough for me.
Viceroy.
This is how democracy dies. The big deal, the big change here, which I've talked with you guys a lot about, is the fact that magic has become very, very commonplace across the world. We are a high fantasy, high magic setting, but humans don't have a very long life compared to Dragonborn, compared to the elven breeds, the dwarves and all that, the orcs, any of them. So what humans lack in lifespan, they make up for in intense ingenuity. They are thinkers, they are movers, they are shakers, they are inventors. So with the prevalence of magic in this world and gods literally walking the earth, titans strolling around, because the gods have been spatting for 10,000 years. This has not been a calm time for them. The humans have taken their magical prowess and sort of converted it into industrialism. There's been something of a magical industrial revolution here that has stemmed from the coalition sort of accessing this magic and turning it into technological advancement. All these 12 city-states are linked together by something known as the Coalition Rail. It's a large train system that funnels its way through either the 6 main city-states or a sort of busted, LARR local line that goes and connects all 12 states together. So there's a lot of travel going on, there's a lot of interconnectivity, despite the fact that each of these states consider themselves separate and independent, just linked by this overarching body of government. And it's within these, mortal states of humankind that we find our story taking place, though the orcs have their, forging settlement in the snowy northwestern lands. The Dragonspine Mountains are inhabited by the Dragonkin and the dwarves. The Badlands to the east, where the Infernals have taken quite a foothold, and we haven't really talked about them a lot. We haven't really been there a lot. I think the most west you guys have gotten, or most east you guys have gotten, is the Heartwilds, right? In the Crystal Mines, the Lyrium Mines. Mm-hmm. And then to the south, where all 3 other nations meet, right? Where the Mortal States meet the Heartwilds, meet the Badlands. Right in that pocket, there is sort of a marshy, swampy oasis that was created by the vestiges of those animal divine spirits known as the Guardians, as the last bastion of pure natural growth. And it is in there that a species known as the krill has emerged. This insectoid, chitin-plated species who mostly keep to themselves, though they're starting to branch out into the lower, the more southern tips of the mortal states, and they aren't very well looked upon by most, just because they're new, and that's a problem. But amidst all this change and mythic shift, which I could talk about ad nauseum, and we could elaborate on for forever. Within the last 30 or so years, 3 people were born. 2 of whom, sort of by circumstance, became siblings. The other, who found their way into this group during a rather catalytic incident that started the 3 of them off on a considerable pathway that has led them through 15 D&D 5th edition levels to this point, where we find them today. And if they had a group name, this is where I would sort of introduce them as this group. But what I'll do instead...
Working group name
working-
is...
Working group name is Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's the
Yeah.
the name when you come out with that new tech device and they've got that like they're
Yeah.
calling it like the Picasso.
The disciples
But
of
we're
Peter
coming out with
Gabriel.
the real name later. So right
Yeah.
now, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth and Fire. Let me start with our resident Asim.
We
Nice.
only sing 1 second of it, then we're gonna pay
that's
for
it. I guess,
exactly.
Our resident Asimar, can you speak on you?
Yeah. So
Can you imagine?
I-
Can you imagine?
If Earth, Wind, and Fire comes for us, that'll be our biggest
That's our crowning
success.
honestly,
I
crowning
would
achievement.
fight it
I
so
would-
hard so we get like articles,
Yeah.
we get campaigns.
Dare I say it? Dare I say it? Peter Gabriel, friend of the show.
Friend of the
friend
show.
of the show.
That's an open invitation. Peter Gabriel, if you ever hear this, know that we're here for you.
Oh,
Take it away.
So, our resident Asimar.
Ass.
Putting the
Amar.
ass in
Asimar,
Asimar.
you know.
You did ask for your nickname to be Ass.
I said Ace, but yeah, sure.
He said, my initials, AS, Ace. And I went, Ass.
I don't know about that.
As. I'm gonna
Your
call
initials.
you.
Ass.
Oh, jeez. So
Booty.
the name of my character is Angelo, Emethios. Angelo is a 22-year-old demigod, but does not know that he is. But you guys can know that. You know, dramatic irony is what we call that. And he was born of Neverick. Also doesn't know that Neverick is his father. A little more dramatic irony for you guys. And knows his father as the name Tamsin Emethios. And his father has disappeared and his mother has died. Right.
Mhm.
Right, you know.
On that Percy Jackson is.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
that
exactly.
Picture movie?
And he is a 22-year-old man he's got black hair with this like nice little blue streak. You can see it in the picture if you're looking at the
Character
Twitch,
art.
the character
There
card
you go.
there. Yeah, it was the
Stream.
words.
I got you.
What's the name of the person?
Rinmaru.
Rinmaru.
Rinmaru, yes.
We've been using these avatars for our home campaign for some time. And the only caveat is they do make us look like we are literal teenage anime protagonists. So just
15.
age these people up by like 20 years. 10 to 20 years. Otherwise, very representative and really customizable. I recommend you check it
Yes,
out.
it's great.
But yeah, he is a spry little guy who's. I keep saying little guy because I think I'm imagining this young
Is
picture of
he
him.
a short kid?
He's not short. He's like 6 feet.
Well, we stand a
he's
short
taller
king.
than Neverick is, which is funny. It is from
Oh,
walking
Jesus.
forward.
Well, that's taller than Neverick's realm walking.
Yeah.
Let's not remember that Neverick,
Right.
you know, was an eternal, existential,
Right.
immortal being that could do
Yeah.
whatever they wanted.
And he's a wizard fighter. Anything else that I need to tell you guys about this? Because I've forgotten how to introduce a character. Apparently,
You're still looking. The reason we came together.
yes, the reason that we met is Angelo is looking for his dad who has disappeared and trying to find a way to bring his mom back. Yeah.
And you've received, as this, you know, the last just about year of the group you've traveling together, you've received a couple signs from your Pegasus spirit guide as to, you know, steps to take on that journey.
Absolutely.
Ah.
My character, her name is Terra. She is 34. She is the sister of Ignis, adopted sister. I'll let you explain that backstory a little bit. But she was a normal human woman with a wife and a
When you
kid.
say it like that, I don't believe you.
I am a human woman, I swear.
Mark
Hello,
Zuckerberg.
fellow youths.
Not fellow youths.
I'm a fellow human. I abide by the same regulations that you do. I drink water because I like it. And I need to drink it to live.
My heart. Oh God.
And I do definitely breathe air.
I breathe and sleep, just like you do.
I poop 1 to 2 times a day.
All plugged into an outlet.
I mean my phone.
Just like the... I mean... Please, continue.
Anyways.
Okay, no, let's just keep doing this.
I'm dying. Terra had a wife and a young child named Stella. The wife's name was Inez. Stella was 4 years old, and she was, Terra thought, murdered, and the body stolen, and that kind of is what brought us all on our first adventure. There's been a lot of shit that's happened since then, but because of her child being murdered and stolen, she made a deal with
a certain afterlife god.
Yeah, the afterlife god known as Ystava to give me powers and I'll hunt down these people who did it. But she went a little farther than like a paladin or a cleric, and she said, also, can my daughter be reincarnated into a really good life? And Ystava said, yeah, sure. You gotta do some stuff for me. So she is a warlock.
No baggage there.
No baggage there. And all the tattoos you see are a marking of her deal with Ystava.
Pact, if you will.
My character's name is Ignis. Ignis grew up on the streets of what city?
Baltos.
Baltos, that's right.
Baltos.
Baltos.
Toss the ball.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Sack throw.
Sack throw.
I've been rewatching Full Metal recently, and I forgot how blatant that shit is. They're in the middle of like, we have to fucking do this. Full Metal Alchemist.
That's why it's so funny.
It literally,
Yeah.
I'm watching it with Emily for the first time, and the first time that happened, Emily, I shit you not, said out loud, what the fuck is that?
and mind you, it happens twice
Twice.
in a row
Because it's a commercial
because
break.
it straddles the
Yeah,
commercial.
she accepted it for like 2 or 3 episodes, and then as it kept happening, she was like, "Wait, what? Literally,
Why?
what the fuck
Why?
is that? What is that?" Because they don't make it clear, and I don't, it's not who's that Pokemon, but I imagine
Right.
that would also be as weird to watch for the first time, right?
I guess.
Back to back.
I guess if you're watching Pokemon for the first time, all of a sudden, who's that Pokemon in the middle of a battle? You're like,
Jigglypuff.
Then you get answered.
I mean, yeah, at least you get an answer.
But anyway,
Pikachu!
we are
Fairy, fuck!
losing ourselves, lost the source.
Ignis grew up on the streets, did not know her parents. Really probably has some sort of memory of being left, but too young, doesn't remember it. Probably repressed. Quickly became a thief of sorts, worked with a lot of different crime lords around town because as she was able to market herself as a scout, essentially, quietly and anonymously slipping through the streets of the city as a little girl, but meanwhile being able to track marks, essentially becoming a bounty hunter. At that point, did not kill anyone. Would just kind of like point. And then also when that business wasn't going super well, she would steal. She's a very good thief. But
It's giving me huge Lila Bard
I know.
energy, like
In a sense.
really big Lila Bard energy, in the way of like that sort of like streetwise fight for survival.
You gotta
kinda
do what you
stuff,
gotta
right?
do.
yes, it's also, if you've read the beginning of Name of the Wind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's those like
Yes.
it's those years for both
For
in
yeah.
Or as
on the mean streets.
Rachel D&D 28 says, Aladdin, her childhood crush. So,
I didn't know that, and that
tracks.
like sits so nicely in the puzzle
I
pieces
hear
there.
her voice saying, "Street rat." She loves that song.
Catch that. Street
I mean,
rat.
that random person that we don't know.
Yeah, Rachel D&D 28, right? Like,
Right, yeah.
I have
Rachel
no
D&D
idea who that is.
So, whilst burglaring a home, was caught by Terra's father, was
Daddy.
instead of turned in to the guards, was slowly in how you would offer a stray dog, like not completely at first, but like okay, I have a treat here, you can come, but I'll hang out.
Cute.
Ava says yes.
Yeah. So, and then grew up alongside her sister. After Terra got married, Ignis went on her own little journey of going back to being an actual bounty hunter as an adult, murdering a number of people.
Joining a cult, perhaps.
Joining a cult for a little while. Dipping out of said cult when hearing about death of
Stella.
niece.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts. And then since then has just been trying to be there for Terra.
So,
Is a ranger / monk.
Where did you learn each set of those abilities?
The general ranger-ness, and I would say in general the first 2 levels of ranger, and maybe first early levels were just learned on the streets out of necessity, but then through her work on the high seas, but then also in the cult of the they're known as the Keepers, a cult that worships Unin, but in a bad way.
Is it that bad if Unin gives them powers?
That's
Couldn't be that bad.
That's fair. But gains extra dimensional abilities of various kinds
Forceful
through
nature.
that. So yeah.
Which you still have, despite not being in the cult anymore.
Yes. And
Amazing.
To know.
I took a relic of theirs. It's big sword.
Big sword.
Mm.
Big sword.
And we've been hunted by them a few times.
Yeah, couple times. Couple times. So, how do I best want to phrase this? Since the apparent death of your child, Stella, it has been just over a year since that all kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any good way for us to very succinctly summarize the gist of how we've gotten to where we are, where we're about to begin?
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that up to you.
I'll go and people can chime in if they want.
I will. Yes.
We found out that there was a group of beings who were part construct, part biological, depending on the percentage of the person,
100% evil.
who were doing experiments on people, trying to find out what made them elves and take it out, or put things in them that were metal, and basically any people we saw with an eyeball that was a whirring mechanical sphere, I don't think body mods are a big thing yet, so you would know that they were a part of this cult. And we hunted an individual down who we assumed was responsible, named Vindictus. And
Took a while to get there.
yes, took a lot. This is the jet through this.
Quick and dirty.
And we killed Vindictus, we think. Vindictus said that my child was not yet dead. And we reached out to Ystava and have not heard anything. In between that, there was also a plague that was plaguing all of the
Plagues be plaguing.
non-elven people.
COVID 10,000 BC.
Yes, exactly. And we
Oh.
managed to stop that.
It was directly caused by the same crew.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
it was their shtick. And you've been hunting liches.
Yes. Oh,
Couple
yes.
times.
I forgot about that. Yes, Ystava has put us on this task to hunt liches. There's 3 of them because they are the 3 liches who snuck up into the afterlife and killed Ystava, and they became the first liches. And so Ystava kind of has a personal vendetta, and she is using Terra and her family to hunt down these liches and kill them. And we've gotten 2 of the 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
Anything else from the peanut gallery here?
I did recently receive, via pterodactyl, a letter, seemingly referring to the cult that I had left, and I'll read it. It says, "They encroach upon our shores. They seek to spoil the bounty of our divine lands where the sun sets last. Their minds bear your name with hatred. Come collect upon the debts they owe you. Help us, and the serpent will bless you." From Kalanthus.
You did receive that message a couple months ago. Getting mighty sussy looks over here.
I believe it's probably just some sort of homage situation.
Sure.
Right. So, we pan the camera down for the first time during Regulus evolution on the city. A glittering city of innovation and progress. Spotted in a vision once by a horned god of sacrifice. This glittering city on the shores of the western coastline of Regolus, with on the shore towering spires of metal and copper and gemstone amidst a sprawling city of wood and iron that sort of banks up the shoreline to the fields above. Great big sleek walls surrounding the outside of the city, with a huge citadel of sapphire just offshore, bolted by large chains onto the sort of loamy sand on the edge of the coastline here. It is the capital city of the Palatine state, known as Kalanthus. It is home to the body of government known as the Coalition of Greater Order, in which, in the Sapphire Citadel itself, is where they meet most days, these delegates far from home. And the city is a very, very rich city. This is where the industrial magical revolution really kick-started, and the evidence of such a change is still visible in the city today. Almost a microcosm of the mortal state itself. The monorail, or the coalition rail that spans the entire mortal states, is almost copied and minimized into a monorail system that tracks through the different little districts of this city, from the slightly poorer, slightly more working class district out nearer the walls of the city, up further near the fields, towards the absolute pinnacle of wealth in the heart of the city, and then down towards the more militarized political edge near the shoreline and the docks and the Sapphire Citadel itself. The city is pockmarked with open-air bazaars and marble marketplaces and huge amounts of, magical application. This is the city that you come to apply your magical learning in and convert magic into technology. This is the city where the railway was founded, where lightning magic has been turned into some kind of magnetic propulsion engine. This is where the coalition itself was founded, and the city reaps those benefits too. All the money that comes from those systems is found back right here. It's why these great towering buildings known as gilded spires across the, when you say like a New York brownstone, right, and what all that implies. If you say that you live in a gilded spire, that it's a similar connotation,
There's
right?
a
Like
look.
there's a look. There is absolutely a
And a
look.
certain financial.
Yeah, you know
demographic.
that this person has some kind of money, and you know that this person carries some kind of weight about themselves, whether they've put that weight on themselves or whether somebody else has put that weight onto them. I live in a gilded spire is a particularly charged sentiment, and you three live in a gilded spire. This was not something you bought. This was not something you necessarily even asked for or wanted. This was a gift provided to you by the Coalition of the Greater Order after you initiated a raid on one of these futurist compounds and assisted them in a time of need when they thought you might be their only benefit. And this was before you were even known as the peacekeepers and plague enders that you are today, the plague breakers. It's one of the central gilded spires that you live in, about 2/3 of the way down the slope of the city. This beautiful, beautiful bronze building known as the Lapis Lazuli. It's where you live. It's gilded with like these sort of glowing blue lamps near the top of it that give it that name. Your apartment is one of the western-facing apartments with these beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows that look out upon the Sapphire Citadel and the western horizon. And you've been living in it off and on for the past few months. I would say probably you've had claim over this apartment for about 4 months. 2 of which you spent living here, and the latter 2 were spent both going to, dealing with, and coming back from your hunt for Vindictus in his tumor tower. The flavors are melting on my tongue.
That's a good band name, though.
Tumor Tower?
I'm into it.
Penis.
It'd be like a...
Is it any better than the other ones that you cleared, the cyst castles?
I mean, I would say
Which is worse?
cyst castles are a little bit better than Tumor Tower.
Well, they have both, and you cleared both. As
Tower
you went.
of Tumor?
Tower of
Tower of-
Tumor. That's the album name. That's what it is.
Tower of Tumor.
And Cyst Castle is this song.
Great.
Essentially, it's dick cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Good thing Woody's not here.
Oh! Too soon?
He doesn't have cancer anymore. It's fine.
That's really
We
fair.
can
Why don't you come all the way back to New York to defend yourself?
Get
Please, come back.
Great. Okay, I completely derailed where I was at. Anyway, this city is very.
One night. What?
Great.
Choking.
There is not a lot that this city needs necessarily. When you walk outside and around the bustling city centre here, you don't feel like you're missing anything other than quiet, right? It is not a peaceful city, though it is in peacetime. They aren't sending soldiers anywhere, save for the fact that the Coalition, their knights, their inquisitors, they are often active throughout the mortal states. That's the only way the order is kept here. And we find ourselves today on a bright morning. You have the benefit with these western-facing windows of catching all the rising sun sunlight, but not directly. It's all reflected off of the great ocean that sits there. And that is what they call it, the Great Ocean. Because as far as they're aware, it's the only ocean.
Yeah.
That's great.
And it is great.
It's like when you only eat vanilla ice cream.
It's ice cream, right?
It's the best
That's
ice cream.
It's the best ice cream. And this is where we find ourselves. It has been about a week since you returned. A busy week. You've had a lot of meetings with the delegates. You've sort of debriefed with your respective branches of the coalition, because we failed to mention to our followers here that you are all officially part of the coalition of Greater Order. So it's been busy, and each of these nights I think you've been taking to yourselves to do whatever it is individually, because that's sort of been taken from you lately. You all started from fairly individualistic backgrounds, but the past year has been one given unto others. Much to your credit, you have benefited from such, but it's been busy, and it's been all-consuming. And with Vindictus at least waylaid and dispatched and the plague quelled, you've had a little time of nights to think to yourselves. So I ask you, as the sun rises and glints off the water which dapples through the high-rise windows of your apartment here, which of you has the highest constitution score?
Got a 15. You probably have the highest.
Oh, so
Ava's head is
15.
in the way of the character sheet.
17, it's me.
17, 15,
15.
15. I will say, despite the fact that you have your own rooms and whatnot,
Excuse me.
Terra, you were the first awake
Mhm.
this morning. Just about a week after you've returned from the ruined tower, the tumor, so to speak,
Mhm.
right? And it's quiet, blissfully quiet in your apartment. What do you want to do?
I'd like to go out by the window. I assume we have like a...
Mhm.
I'm imagining like a big, like, floor to ceiling window.
It's across the whole breadth of the apartment,
Uh-huh.
basically. This gorgeous thing.
And stand there for a second in the quiet, and then just close my eyes. Ystava, I need to speak with you. You've been dodging me for a week now, and I need answers. And something tells me you have them. I'm ready to walk away from this. Because if my daughter is really alive, and you've been lying to me, then what is the point of me doing this for you?
There is silence. But when you open your eyes, looking out towards the window, it takes a second. But the first thing you notice is a seagull, still holding themselves up mid-air, mid-flight, static. And perhaps with a little more observation, a few of the people you can see way down below setting up the market in tableau. The waves on the shoreline mid-crash. And it's only then that you can smell the sandalwood and heavy incense and almost like burnt ash in the room that otherwise has no place. And when you turn, nestled on the curved love seat of that sort of inner sofa fire pit style thing is a man in a very sort of like deep blue refined velvet suit, waistcoat, black shirt, dark tie, beautifully almost a gilding on the out ridges of their skin, this sort of shimmering sheen. And you've seen them before. And they just sit there, amber-eyed. You have my attention, if only for a moment.
When we killed Vindictus before, he said that my daughter still lives. What do you know of this?
I'm offended. You would put stock in some raving lunatic's word before mine. Troubling. Terra, very troubling.
He wasn't lying.
What does it matter? The deed is done.
What deed? Me being bound to you?
No. Why? Why would you speak that way? We still have the bulk of our work to do. The deed is done, meaning this madman Vindictus is taken care of. What weight do his words hold?
But is my daughter still alive?
As you know her, no. And that's been the case for some time. Or we wouldn't be here, would we? Is that all?
So you made this deal with me and you lied.
No. No. Lied. And the quality of light in the room just changes. The reflections from the water, the dappled, like sort of rippling water light on the sides of the room, because I imagine you don't have torches lit in the morning, almost sort of separates and prickles like distant stars dancing among the wood. Don't make accusations you cannot keep and cannot enforce. I have been gone too long to suffer such. If you wish this to be over, I will end it. Is that really what you want? We still have a chance here. See this through to the end, and we can make this right.
As long as you hold up your end, fine. But if I find out that you were anything less than 100% truthful, I will have words for you.
I'm sure. I have no intent on reneging on such a long and productive union. When it comes time for your lovely daughter to call upon me, I will respond as we have discussed. That is what is right, and that is what will be done. That time has not yet come, as I have told you for the past, what has it been, a year now? Patience.
Fine.
Good. Listen well. I think we're nearing the end. I'm honing in on our final subject. Once I have them pinned down, I'll let you know, as before. Can I expect another outburst like this? Or are we on stable ground until time comes?
It's only an outburst because you took a week to respond.
I have other clients.
Oh, excuse me. We're just hunting down the people who killed you. We're not that important.
Note to self, don't come back in the morning. Point taken.
Bit touchy. Bit touchy.
We will have that tied up soon. Until then, wait on my call. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Save a cup of coffee for me. And as they cross their legs, as one knee passes over the other, they sort of fade like the wind, and the glittering stars twinkle for a moment before assembling back into the dappled, rippling light of the distant waves. The seagull flies, the market begins to move again, and the waves slosh against the shore in the distance.
Fuck. And I kick a chair out of anger.
Wakes you up in your room.
You
Who do you
start
think has the most
swearing.
lavish room of the three of you?
It's probably Terra. It's probably Terra.
I mean, you'll have money. You'll have money now. And especially, like, sometimes you might not even have to spend for yourselves either. You can probably, like, ring up the coalition, like, call Gideon, like, our chair's broke.
Landlord.
Yeah. The sink isn't working. The buzzer stopped doing the thing.
I think Terra probably makes her room very nice in the hopes that if Inez ever comes over, because I think Inez liked fine
Like
things.
nice things, yeah.
We put the chips right by the
Right
mic.
by the mic.
I don't know
We
why
put
we
the
do
chips.
that.
I put the chips
No,
right
leave
by
it.
the
Leave
mic.
it. It's real. It's raw.
The
You like
chair
it raw?
kicking, the clatter wakes you up. You probably know what that is, even by the sound of it.
Yeah. Ignis's room is fairly bare. Got rid of bed. Sleeps on kind of like a mat, essentially.
Japanese style.
Yeah, I never really liked the like softness of beds after like growing up sleeping on like rooftops and in like just tiny spaces. Never really liked a cushiony bed. I would say most of the things dabbling her room are an eclectic assortment of stolen and acquired items of various
Trophies, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like, not even necessarily, it's not like you hold them up as trophies, but
Yeah,
they're spoils, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
It's really cool that she gets it and then it gets put down
And
and most likely forgotten.
That's its spot, and if I find it later, then great. I'll be excited. Sounds like my ass. Is what it sounds like.
I from the ground. Are we being burglared?
No.
Okay.
Ystava paid me a visit just now.
You all right?
I'm making coffee and I'm putting booze in it.
Good.
Sorry I woke you.
I get up.
This like cross apartment yelling has probably woken you up as well by this point.
T-shirt, 2 sizes too big.
Just like
It's like a
right.
dress.
Comfy ass pants.
Every night has been the same dream since.
Okay. I imagine this. Well, his room. He has a bed and such. He also has a desk kind of work table. He likes to tinker with tech and see how that goes with the magic, and also uses to study the spell book and such. So I feel a lot of nights he sleeps at the desk by accident. Like
So
it's
it's
just
just
he
like,
so
yeah,
happens
where
to
you
fall
were,
asleep,
yeah.
there. So I think this is one of those nights where he's woken up at the desk at the sound of their across the apartment yelling.
See, like paper stuck. in his
Honestly,
face.
something like that. You hear like a rattle, something's fallen because he's woken up, like, and in the middle of some kind of work or something. But yeah, sorry. I think he just groggily leaves his room. He doesn't say anything yet. You know, he's not a morning person.
Much like how you leave your room in the
Yeah,
morning.
basically, yeah, me, yeah.
I just had an image of you walking down
Just
the
walking
hall.
down the hall, just silently, and just slowly waking up. You know,
Yeah.
that moment.
We're mourning in the morning.
Yeah.
Mourning the death
because,
of our sleep.
Exactly.
So as you all like
And we are
pay your
at
respects
the
to the sleep resting in peace now, sun is rising. It's probably, just after 8 or so at this point.
I go and I sit on whatever couch we have, waiting
It's
for
literally
my
that like love seat, the
Yeah.
curved thing in the pit. Right.
waiting for my cup of coffee that I would have assumed Terra was gonna make for me.
Do you want booze in it?
You decide. Don't tell me.
Okay.
I can't make that decision right
She
now.
gets booze.
Great.
I'm not drinking alone.
She-
That's what I
she
say.
gets
Is I
booze.
hand you the coffee
Yeah.
cup, and
Great.
Tara picks up coffee mugs like this,
Did any of you
like a true member of the queer
Yeah,
community.
just like fucking going for it.
Yeah.
Did any of you take the little servo spider bot from
Well, I was
Vindix's
gonna say I
lab?
would take it because I was probably gonna tinker with that.
Yeah.
Tech.
I mean, even
Please
if you
keep
are
that away
tinkering,
from me. Those freak
tinkering
me out.
with it on your desk, every morning it will probably come out and try and make breakfast for you.
Oh, nice.
I say try it because it won't do it well. Right, if it's making eggs, it's gonna make like only wet scrambled eggs.
Can I try to gain a visualization for myself? Family Guy Star Wars. In
Yes.
Jabba's palace, the little like thing comes out and is like, "Blah, blah."
Yeah.
and it's like I think Jabba's cat got loose, and it's like, oh no, here kitty, and it's like running, it like comes down and has like little pincer legs and
The
runs
best
around.
way
with an
I
eye on
can,
it.
you've seen Toy Story 1.
Yes.
You know in Sid's room,
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Same one. Same one.
but instead of a baby head, you know the Green Goblin's bombs in the Spider-Man movies.
Oh,
the, like,
yeah.
spheres with a green circle in the middle. It's that.
Yep.
It's that with like shitty little spider legs.
That's essentially what I am
yeah,
describing as
yeah.
well. I'm here.
I couldn't picture it running away.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly that.
It has Consuelo's voice.
I do hate that. This thing doesn't speak. It's just sort of like not even R2D2 chimes. It just sort of like whirs and chirps in response to things, and it clanks around. It's fairly rickety. It was obviously not finished when you guys found it, and it has in your tinkering with it. It does the thing. It functions sort of similar to a familiar, other than the fact that it doesn't obviously require a spell to cast, and it sort of does its own thing unless it's being told not to.
So more like a child.
So
Yeah, like a dog.
A dog.
Right? Like a really annoying dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like a cat if a cat tried to please you.
Yeah.
At
Oh, yeah.
one point.
So does it clean?
No,
No.
it only makes messes
No.
exclusively.
But it's all from like a
But
good.
it means well.
It means well. Okay.
It scratches the floors. It, cracks the eggshells into the scrambled eggs. Like it really makes a mess. But at least it means well, and it
Ignis
doesn't
has
smell bad.
one of those things that you put at the base of a door to not let pets into a room.
Yeah.
At the base of her
Baby
door.
gate.
And a baby gate. Thank you.
Child locks
And
the
is
room.
and has essentially said to Angelo, if that thing gets in my room and destroys my shit, I will break it,
Understood.
and you will buy it.
I think it's learned that too. It's like mostly sticks to the kitchen and
Yeah.
Angelo's room. But it likes to be around you guys in the morning, so it's just clattering around as you make the coffee, sit down, maybe have a little bite to eat. It's while you're getting ready here, looking over the bulk of the city, that the small little circular coffee table in the middle of the love seat area, the crystal in the center of it starts blinking.
Mhm.
Rangers, we got an alert.
Do we? Yeah.
Zordon is calling.
Do we I wish with
Try
all my
Triceratops.
heart. Like, how do we make it go? We didn't talk about
Yeah, you
that.
just
It's
clink
morphing
Okay.
time.
Saber-tooth tiger.
It's not it only receives. It doesn't, dial out. Other than if you like touch it and speak into it, you can sort of like contact the general coalition. But you sort of press it, and from the central coffee table, again, very much Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. This
Hologram.
image sort of solidifies out of little magical blue particles around this crystal, and it's of this very lanky, bony guy. He's got the classic balding monk haircut, right? Just the hair around the sides.
Nice.
Very fancy, well-folded, kind of multiple layered toga with almost a skin-tight tunic underneath. You know this guy well. His name is Gideon Trask. Senator Gideon Trask. He is a delegate to the coalition, and he is your particular handler. He's been so for about the better part of nearly 5 months now since you first moved to the city here. And as he appears,
T-R-A-S-K?
T-R-A-S-K.
Thank you.
Gideon, Gideon. He appears there. You can hear his voice sort of crackling through the magical static there. Good morning, dear souls. Good morning. I hope I haven't woken you unnecessarily with my call. How is everything?
It's great. Dandy. No, you didn't wake us up. We're fine. We're just chilling. How are you, Gideon?
Oh, good. Took my morning stroll along the beach. Did some relaxation, some nice breathing
Some
techniques.
calisthenics.
I wouldn't quite go that far, but yes, something of the sort. Keeping myself active and
Good for you.
Yes, good for me. Good for me. Good for you. Good for you. Yes, you. Nothing urgent, particularly. I know I bear message that the Night Recusant would like to meet with you, just go through another debriefing. I think they're still working on trying to figure out the last pieces and points of information you gave them from your activities a week or so ago. Just more running down the usual. So if you would stop by the docks a little later today to discuss with them, I'm sure that would be quite pleasant. They don't mean to take up too much of your time. They just requested I relay this message to you. In other news, I know one of the larger markets in the center of town is reopening for the first time after things got a little tight with that whole sickness thing. And perhaps if you were to make an appearance, it would be appreciated by the spirit of the general public. I know that would do well. I'm not asking you to perhaps do any rounds of the churches or the temples or the businesses here and there, but perhaps a brief appearance in the market might do you well. Just speaking plainly as your retinue to the greater mortal states and whatnot. Is there anything you need from me? Of course, happy to provide whatever it is you might require over the coming days.
I think we're in a holding pattern, really. We'll go to the docks after we go to the marketplace. We might as well do some work while we're waiting for our next thing.
Excellent. Excellent. That works fine on our end. Works absolutely fine. I know as far as the delegation is concerned, we're still looking to maybe regulate the amount of automated construction that happens within the mortal states. This has got us quite in a bit of a tizzy. We weren't really expecting such a linkage between the nastiness that's happened lately and this new form of work. We're sending an escort.
Sorry.
No, I'm so. Is everything?
I'm having coffee.
Is it to your liking?
It better be.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yes, good. Coffee. Yes. Sending an escort. That's what it was. We're sending an escort up into the mountains to make some contact with, with the orcs, you see. There was no kind of construction like this happening in Red Mountain. We wanted to make sure that we weren't being purveyed unnecessarily harshly by the orcs. I mean, we don't really know of anyone else who is constructing automata at such an advanced scale. As far as them, frankly, I don't have all the information on that. It's mostly the Night Recusants who keep those records to themselves. I know they've been poring over the materials you gave them. I assume that's what they're talking to you today about, or wish to talk to you today about. But just keeping you abreast. Within the next few days, we'll be sending an envoy up that way to make sure everything's on the more stable side. We're, as of yet, unsure as to how they were affected by the plague. Just touching base, you see? Touching base. I think that's almost all that I have for you this morning. I'll check in with you again tomorrow morning, just making sure everything went swimmingly enough today in your exploits, but as always, you can always reach me just by placing your hand on this, I assume it's somewhere in this area, this gemstone. If you need anything, let me know. And I will see you later. Yes?
Thank you, Gideon.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course, as always. Have a pleasant day, and may you go where the order stands. Pleasure. Is it... Oh, goodbye. See you. And then eventually the image sort of fades away.
I fucking hate that guy.
How delightful.
He's literally the last thing I want to see in the morning.
It was early, but I feel like
I feel bad
he's
for his
harmless.
wife.
Do you think he's always that cheery? Like, in the throes too.
One would assume.
I'm a little groggy. What did you say?
Something, go take credit / blame for us. Something, you've been summoned.
Cool.
We're going to go to the marketplace because they're reopening it after the plague. And just, I don't know, shake a few hands, kiss a few
some
babies.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the docks.
Yep.
To talk to, I'm assuming one of the coalition members will be there, and we'll meet them there.
Cool.
It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be. Ystava came.
Oh yeah. How was that?
And yeah, how was that?
They said that they didn't lie to me, but they also said that Stella isn't alive in the form I knew her as. That's all I got. And that Ystava would tell us soon about the last lich. What are you thinking?
I don't know. There's nothing you can do. So, just have to keep playing that tune, dancing that dance. So, I'm just sorry.
It was my choice. It was my choice. Let's go be cute and shake a few hands. Maybe there will be some fun new market stalls. Or some fun bar fights to watch.
Or participate in.
Or participate in.
Sounds fun.
Great! Let's kick this day in the ass.
Heck yeah.
Getting dress montage.
It's, you know, in Batman, the Tim Burton Batman movies where you get like, dun dun, glove goes on,
Literally.
dun dun, belt gets clicked, dun dun,
Nipples!
And then the nipples, yes.
Yeah.
Through the suit. Like the full armor, and there are nipples.
It's that. You do that. Glad we're all there. Before heading down the effectively elevator in the building. The way the golden spires or all the gilded spires are mostly all set up, the living ones as opposed to the business ones, they're sort of like ridged towers, sort of Chrysler building style of building. Inside they're cylindrical with it's mainly 2 apartments to a floor around the whole building. And in the center of the building is this column that forms as the elevator shaft, which is like a small like mine cart, this bronze mine cart that has these little nodes. These nodes of the same lightning magic that work the trains, that work the coalition apparati, that sort of do this Tesla coil effect around the central column of the building and form this shaft that you can travel down towards the base of the building. Cool. So you travel down that, you pass and exit through the lobby of the building, this beautiful marble, like mosaic tile structure.
Is there candy at the reception desk?
Yeah,
like
only
cookies.
sherbet lemons though.
I take some.
It's like a bowl of like open, unwrapped
Ew.
sherbet lemons.
What?
Wait, this is okay. We have tech.
There was
but
just a plague.
We're still in like fantasy land. There was just a plague, but they're not gonna wrap their sweets. Like,
Wrap your sweets, ladies and gentlemen.
wrap your sweets today. You don't have the excuse of living
I
in a fantasy
don't know
land.
if that's a double entendre or not.
It is.
It's exactly
Okay.
what you think it
Okay.
means.
Wrap your sweets. Cover
All
your
right, you
confections.
lovely folks. Saddling up, wrap
I'm
your
gonna
sweets,
Hashtag.
and let's go on a ride.
Kill myself.
Spay and neuter.
I am so loved.
Right. So yeah, you pass through there. You grab a handful of sherbet lemons. The mosaic on the floor of the lobby. It's just like this image that you see everywhere, especially places that are funded by the coalition, of a human, a tattered human in this like loincloth thing that covers their genitalia appropriately, and it covers like both groin and upper chest, so they're always like this completely androgynous figure, holding their hand up to a bolt of lightning. And it's unclear as to whether they're shooting it or catching it. That's just like the art, right? It's used in a ton of stuff, sort of like Christ the Redeemer-ish. You pass over that. There's a halfling doorman that you have this building, Stanith.
Oh, I love Stanith.
He always
Stano!
like oversized coat, like beautiful double-breasted, like navy blue coat with gold epaulets and trimming. It's too long in the sleeves, a little too long in the trail. How are you? Good to see you. Hope you have a nice day.
I flip him
Very well.
I flip him one of the lemon candies.
And
I also
is this the
flip-
first time you've done that, or do you do it often?
I do it often.
Yeah, catches it.
And I also flip him a gold.
In that order, it's hump, grab.
Does he ever get it mixed up?
I'm certain he has.
Sometimes I throw a little change up in there.
It gives you a wink as he goes by. See you when you come home.
Great to see you, Stan.
Pleasure.
I'm assuming Stanith is like Kenneth, right? But
Yeah,
Stan, okay.
Stan's perfectly acceptable. And you head out. I need to quickly pee, so talk amongst yourself for like literally 2 seconds, but I can't hold this until our full 15, so
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna run. I'll be right back. But basically, you are venturing out around your building and up a little north through the hill of the city to get to literally the central marketplace. It's a big, proper, like Italian piazza style thing where you've got a couple stores built into the walls of the actual building surrounding the square, but mostly it's these people who come with their wagons loaded with their wares from some of the farms outside the city, some of the smaller businesses in the city. It's where anyone can go, wealthy or otherwise, to just like engage with people, talk, socialize, and buy things. A lot of food, a lot of trinkets, a lot of artisanal wear, not a lot of magical goods, but pretty much anything else. So you're on your way there. It's going to take about a couple minutes. I'm going to run. I'll be right back.
Cool.
It'll take exactly the time we'll do this. Before we RP, as a Celestial Warlock, I get Celestial Resilience, which means that every time we finish a short or long rest, you all get temporary HP from me. So you get 13 temporary hit points.
13? Uno trade?
Lucky number 13.
That is the only odd number I do enjoy.
It's my favorite prime number.
So does Ignis tell us about this letter?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been over. Will had said it would have been like a little while.
Okay, so we
So,
like know about it.
Yeah,
and
I
talked
definitely.
about it.
Because I mean, like, there's no reason for me to keep it secret because I don't know who the fuck Kalanthus is, apparently.
No.
So I'm just like, this was weird. It was a really big bird lizard. Yeah. So
Okay.
I told you about it.
Okay.
Dope.
I hate this. I hate the in-between. I want to get this all done. I get antsy when we're back in Kalanthus for too long.
Ignis definitely has like circular shades,
Excellent.
like John Lennon. Straight up.
Absolutely. I don't know why, but I still don't feel like Ystava is telling you the truth. And when someone who you believe is lying says they're not lying, I still feel like they're lying.
Yeah. I agree. They paused for a really long time, which made me doubt. But then they threatened me in a way if I accuse them of lying. I don't want to piss off a god. But I don't... Yeah, I agree. I don't think he is telling the whole truth.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's you don't see another path, keep moving forward.
Yeah.
If we were to suddenly try to start finding a different path that might take even longer, we would have pissed off God.
Yeah.
So it might just be better to keep going, keep our ears open, and try to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Yeah. All right. Who's buying sweet buns this time at the market?
I will, if I do not have to talk to any of these people.
That's a fair trade.
Deal.
Okay. So you're like discussing the portioning of sweet buns as you pull up this sort of main pedestrian sort of walkway up that levels out onto this sort of plateau of the hill city. There is this sprawling town square, mostly well tiled. There's a little bit of shambling nature to it, but this whole city feels well kept. It's well looked after. The coalition do take care of their own. So this square, it has 4 main on-ways into it. You've just come up through the western way from the sort of sloped part of the city up into it. There's a north, eastern, and southern way into the city, into the square as well. All centered around a fountain in the middle. Nothing, it's not a statue fountain or it's meant to display anything. It's just a 3-tiered little fountain. People, as one does, throw gold into it. But this piazza is already starting to bustle a little bit. Not all of the stands have even finished being set up yet, but there are people milling and seething about, talking, having their mugs of coffee out and about in the street, especially people who live or work in the surrounding area, in some of the leather tanners or the taverns around. People are already moving about. There are already some wagons set up and some stalls set up. It's quite peaceful. There's a little bit of buzz about, which increases upon your arrival. You haven't quite reached the level of celebrity where people are going to and run towards you in the street, but people know who you are, right? People, you stepped into this square for the first day that it's been operating since the old blood plague.
Like you're a professional basketball player, but you're not LeBron James.
Yeah, exactly. And people are looking towards you, maybe chatting amongst themselves, giving you a nod every now and then as they pass. But mostly these people are focused on themselves. They're just happy. There's a good energy in the air. Some of these people look like they were hit a little harder by the sickness than others, but they're all out. They're all out and about, and the air smells good too for the first time in a fucking minute. Right? It smells fresh. It smells bright. And there is whatever they're cooking in some kind of animal oil is sizzling on the air. And it smells good too. So you're in the open air market of Kalanthus. What would you like to do?
Sweet buns. Sweet buns.
Sweet buns. May I say it again? Sweet buns. One of the main place to get solid baked goods is going to be in one of the buildings on the far side of the market. It's actually a building with a chimney for their ovens. I mean, you could probably get sweetbreads and treats from any of the wagons, but if you're looking for the good where the tourists don't go, it's going to be the one in the back there.
As we're walking,
I was gonna say, game plan. We walk to the far end, get our noms, and then make our way back this way. And then by the time we're back this way, we can go to the docks.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Ignis?
as we walk, I'm not going to say anything. As we walk, I'm going to try to look for people that are in our path that may naturally kind of cross with us, and find some rich fuck that I can pickpocket.
I mean, there are plenty of rich folks.
By bumping into and being
Oh,
sorry.
I mean, I guess we are rich fucks. If you really want to.
You're definitely in the upper echelon of people here,
that was
right?
so harsh.
You're a little twitchy.
So as you're sort of wandering through and glad handing a little bit, right?
Dick, like a
Yeah.
Somebody
some
who
fucking
needs it.
posh asshole.
Yeah.
That,
Somebody named Keith.
oh god.
Are you looking for some wealthy Keith or wealthy political Keith?
Either or.
Okay. As you're all walking along and, like, you know, doing a little bit of glad handing, I imagine you're maybe not, but the pair of you, like, if people come up to you and ask for, like, to shake your hand, are you going to say yes? Or are you going to say no? Because that is happening, right? Like, people are like, thank you so kindly. So nice to see you.
You weren't here for this, but I have my character choice is that Ignis has circular shades a la John Lennon.
Great. Great. Ozzy Osbourne-esque.
Yeah.
Fucking rock star.
So
You're
it's-
like, I don't want to be here.
So definitely, like, if somebody would come up to her, she's like, she'll like give a smile, but like is not.
Well, I mean, as long as you're exuding that essence, people are probably going to give that essence kind of back and, like, do the, like, sort of, they're a little shyer around you than they are the other two.
Angela's fist bumping, not shaking hands.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just generating good vibes.
Yeah.
Again, you're not being swarmed, but the people who are feeling bold are definitely coming up to you.
Stunning.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
Natural 20?
Natural 20.
Okay.
That's my second roll today. You know what the
Two
first roll
natural
was?
20s?
Natural 20.
So
What's going on?
It's a good campaign.
you're
this
casing
campaign
the
looks
joint,
good on
right,
me.
looking around, and you spot someone who is stopping at every stall, every little wagon, every little cart, but isn't buying a goddamn thing. They are not in coalition attire. They are in naval wear. They look like they've got like big old like knee-high boots on that look they're meant for like gripping the deck when there's sort of spray on the wood. They have an open coat that is flowing. Their waistcoat is embroidered and paisley. They look wealthy and they've clearly spent a lot of time on a ship. They have a small entourage around them, just like 2 or 3 folks. Who look well off, but are definitely not nobles like this guy is. Clearly the wealthiest guy in the market this early in the morning.
And like kind of passing by our trajectory a little bit, so that I'm not like.
I mean, he's stopping everywhere, so you're not like going completely out of the way.
Yeah.
You'll have to sort of arrange it that you bump into him, but yeah, in your same like quadrant of the market as you go.
Yeah. And then just like from behind / side, just bump, sleight of hand, pickpocket.
Roll me a stealth check, my man.
Stealth or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand. I forget that that's a check. Absolutely.
Alright, let's make it 2. Okay, could be better, but boy do I got a high roll. 28.
Okay.
Could be better,
I
but
was
it's
like-
almost 30.
I rolled
I rolled a 12.
I rolled a 17 plus 2 is a 19, so I was like, oh, he's gonna have to roll high. And then I rolled 28. Yeah, you bump into this guy and I just like nab that little like classic leather pouch
Got it.
that they've got.
Cool.
And as you're doing so, terribly sorry. Can I help you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Male presenting,
Male presenting,
bats eyes, and says,
like shades down.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. Just like, oh, I'm so sorry. I get a little clumsy. Have a nice day. And leaves. Fucks off.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Oh no! Hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave.
So you grab this patch, and you'll. I imagine you're like, even as you hear him sort of muttering a little bit as you walk away, you're just walking.
Yeah.
Just like, yeet.
I mean, like, after a few steps, I'll even fucking pick through it.
Yeah, it's a pouch full of little amber gemstones.
Cool.
Little like.
I'm gonna put that in my inventory.
It's gonna go on the floor with all your other little collectibles.
You're goddamn right.
Just like dumped on the ground.
like those Lego bricks that you step on. Fuck, it's an amber jewel.
And I'll never see them again.
Yeah, they're somewhere in the floorboards of the apartment now, right?
It is out of principle.
Yeah, so amidst Ignis's little theft here, you guys continue glad handing your way through this market. Up to the back western end of it, the western corner, or eastern end of it, the eastern corner, where there's just a small little red brick sloped roof building into the sort of Victorian style interconnected building with a big old chimney coming up the middle of it. And it's, classic arcing sign. Nothing special, just seaside delights. The chimney is already cooking a little smoke in there. Are you heading in?
Yes.
Yeah. You head in, fairly simple fare. It's like basically the whole building is fairly emblematic of a brick oven. And inside, it's got an actual brick oven in the sort of back semicircle style wall. A counter in front of it with a glass display of a bunch of their fresh breads. And this big old beefy redhead in a tunic style apron, sleeves rolled up, very hairy arms, that kind of guy.
What's his name?
Ben.
We know Ben.
We know Ben.
Ben knows us.
We walk in. Benjamin!
He's in the middle
Ben
of working
again!
the oven. Oh!
Benny.
What a treat, mates! What a treat! And he sort of leans over the counter. Morning! It's a pleasant morning, isn't it?
It really is. How are you?
Oh, well enough. Well enough. You know, it's good to see people out and about.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. Hey, how's your family?
They're alright. They're alright. No complaints. You know, we're just hoping things pick up a bit. And that looks like it's going to. You know, looks like it's going to. And we know who we have to thank for that, don't we? We know who we have to thank for that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Come on. He is risen.
Hashtag yesterday was Easter.
What delights can I get for you, delights?
Oh, I'll have my usual, please.
Course to be expected.
And Ignis is paying, so have her fork up.
Oh, feeling fancy, are we?
What did you make this morning that is your particular...
I was gonna say, what's the
you were
special?
happy about?
Yeah.
What's the special? Sure, yeah.
You know, it's trying something that's well within the norm, but slightly outside the usual spectrum of flavour, isn't it? And he takes out one of the things from the glass casing.
Benny, I can hear you talk about this shit all day.
It's literally just on this sort of folded piece of wax parchment. Looks exactly like the rest of his buns. It's basically like a dome.
No. I'm here with it. Keep going.
His firm, lightly glazed buns.
Oh God.
No,
That's on my
it's
Tinder
like a
profile.
Woo! Firm,
Ben-
nicely glazed buns.
Ben claps ass.
wow. Ben's got a family in
Wait,
every
he's a family
city
man.
state.
He's a family
Yeah,
man.
he's just got 12 separate families.
A 13 of Baker's dozen.
Yeah, it's just basically like a classic,
And they all know
loaf-style
each other.
bun.
They're all
Yeah.
totally.
Oh,
They're all
it's
totally
one
down
happy
with it.
family.
It's
They're-
one
yeah.
family. It's just
They're
one
all right with it.
Yeah, it's ye olde Mormonism. Right? Yes, 13 families. Yeah, it's just like classic single bread bun with a hardened layer of white icing over the top and a single cherry on it. It looks the exact same as every other iced bun that he has. As he brings it out and places it on the top of the counter. Now, I have to say, I think I outdid myself on this one. Because unlike everything else where it's just, flour, sugar, a little bit of water, this one, we're getting a bit, a little happier, a little more provided for after the things have settled down a bit. So this one, intermingled with the dough, it's a wee bit of an export or an import we got out west, a wee bit of orange peel, and a dash of some spices. Don't even have a name for it. That's how fresh they are. Spices we just got off a boat a couple of days ago.
Well, Ben Gates, say less.
He just slides the one already on the counter to you. He gets 2 more out.
Yes, please.
Willing for it? Puts it to you. He takes your usual out, which is basically, it's, what's the best way? You know the breadsticks that aren't like snapped breadsticks. They're like two twined like pieces of dough that are like, it's like you get it in cheese bread. It's like that, but it's sweet and savory. It's got granulated sugar and little like chili spices on the inside. Puts that to you, gives you each a little tiny cup of fresh, essentially espresso. It's very, very dense coffee. Don't worry about the payment today, love. Just go for it. Mighty, first day back at the market. Can't have me loyal customers who save in city be paying for it on the first day. Have it on me and come back. Let people know this is where you get your breads and your delights. Please.
Of course.
Benny, we don't deserve you.
Come now. I won't have you talking about yourselves like that. Absolutely not. You deserve the best that you can get, and the best that you can get is my delights. Ain't that true? It's pretty true.
We do love a Ben's delight.
Don't we all? That's what my wife says, you know.
No. I
Which
think
one?
that's a different kind of delight.
Yeah,
Great.
old Forey.
They're just numbers.
He can't keep remembering all the names, and they're okay with it. They're like, yeah,
Okay.
that's okay.
His spouses are numbers, his children are letters. 1 A,
And he has
1 B.
26.
I've got fucking F back in the basement making a dough today, you know. It's a little bit different, a little bit chewier, but that's F for you.
They have their own names, but I don't
Easier for me, old
I don't
brain,
bother
isn't
me.
it? Right, so
I have early onset dementia.
the plague affected us all differently, and all the memories not the same as it
The
used to be.
clerics kind of stopped it, but all the names are gone. That's why I just call you my loyal customers. I don't fucking know your
You can
names.
take the baker out the plague, but you can't take the plague out the baker, you know. Right. You have your delights. You're venturing back out into the market.
I will sleight of hand as he turns around. I'll put like a gold somewhere on his counter that he'll find later.
Yeah, like just sort of like tuck it away a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
not
yeah.
like
Not
hide
like-
it, but
yeah.
I totally got you.
It is somewhere that later on in the day will be like, oh, how'd that get there?
Oh, pocket, yeah. And as you're leaving, he gives you a big, like, meaty-handed wave as you walk back out into the market. And it's even, you've only been here, like, 15 minutes or so, barely even, and there are already more people about.
Oh,
There are more
good.
carts in there. There's a nice smell in the air, continuing, more noise, like there's the sound of bustle and sales and bartering. Just feels good. Feels good. Baltos was always a trading city and a city of harbored wealth and transit. But this is different. This is like the people know how they function. They know how the city's supposed to feel. So as soon as they're allowed to get back to it, they are right back to it. Just moving around, doing the thing. And the more people there are in this area, the less they pay attention to you. The more they are just sort of going about their own business and enjoying themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is your plan to head straight back to the docks, or are you going to stop anywhere else? What do you guys want to do?
I think as we make our way through, if there are people who want to shake our hands, I'll step in front of Ignis and shake their hands for her.
Of course, yeah.
Tony Stark.
She's.
I don't
I
get handed things.
I give you the other cinnamon because we got 4 cinnamon
Yeah.
buns in total, so that both your hands are full, and so of course you can't shake hands.
Bund up. Like, what are you going to do?
Bund up.
Sorry.
Man, if I had a nickel.
If I had a nickel for every time I was bund up.
And then I think we just we loiter and say hello to the people, and then make our way.
Yeah. Perhaps like sitting by the fountain for a little bit, just sort of eating the food, drinking the little like dense coffees, the Turkish style coffee, and enjoying yourself. Taking a breath. When was the last time you guys took a breath in the past year, really? When you were inundated with other things. And of course you will have things to do, things that are weighing on you, like residual effects, but at the very least, the sickness has passed and you are allowed a moment to sit here and enjoy a sweet bread.
How many more people have scars like Terra's from the sickness?
Many. Many. It's a very common thing to see now. You can imagine it's probably more common outside of the city, but I would say at least 1 in 5 in Kalanthus have it. It's particular to people who were actively ill on the day when Vindictus was dealt with. I think that's another thing people look at you for, as they sort of glad hand you knowing who you are already, and they glance and see those scars on you, which I think the highest they go is just about the edge of the neck. They don't reach all the way up this way. But they see those scars on you, and if they have it on themselves as well, there's a little moment of camaraderie, understanding. So you're sitting here, eating your buns, shaking hands, enjoying yourselves. And it's just about when you're getting ready and up to go and head back through the market to the docks that you first hear a loud clanging bell. It's echoing from behind you up the remaining sort of third of the hill up to the top plains by the walls. It's a bell that you recognize as one of the major bells that the Coalition Guard use all along the walls of most of the city-states here. To communicate amongst themselves and amongst the people as well. And this is a loud, clamoring bell. This isn't one of their internal ones. This is one of the ones that's meant for everyone to hear. So this bell up on the walls rings once, which is for, a town meeting. Then it rings twice for important ships docking or important cavalcades coming from the land, like envoys arriving. Then one final time, which means enemy at the gate.
Oh.
You don't hear anything. You don't hear war horns or trumpets or horses. You'd hear that echoing from across the plains outside of the city if there was anything crazy. So a third bell sits echoing, and everyone's sort of a little weirded out. But nothing happens. There's nothing crazy, so they start to get back to a little bit.
I think we would start moving toward the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly.
I'm gonna fly ahead.
You're gonna cast fly and oh no, you're flying with your wings and just lift up and over.
Yeah.
Now, I assume you guys have done this before. You guys have gotten into the fray before. Are you flying above at the same level as your comrades here, or are you flying ahead?
I'm gonna fly ahead to scout basically what's going on at the gate. So
Bet
my
money you
flying
can't.
speed.
Bet money you can't fly as fast as I run.
Are you gonna race?
I guess you could.
No, I'm just saying. You're not gonna get ahead of me.
That's fair.
I forgot you're back
You're
in
not
your real
never
life.
getting
if I
more.
take off flying
Usain Bolt
before you start
missed
running,
it so much.
So I think the three bells ring, and as everybody starts to go okay, time to start selling the crochet again. You the three of you have that moment of okay, let's check this out.
Avengers
Again,
Assemble.
you are all part of the coalition. So there's some reasoning there, some beholden, some responsibility. So you start moving, you take off and up into the air, and again that sight of your wings, honestly, from the square gets a little bit of a cheer. People woo, woo, to see you lift off and
Falcon!
go,
Yeah!
and go.
Angelo's face turns red. He's embarrassed.
You see a couple of people throw some more gold into the fountain as you go, but I assume the pair of you are also heading that way as well.
Yes.
Great. You start moving, you're in the air, you can sort of get a sight a little bit to the walls and a little over the walls. Again, you can't see anything out there, as far as even up, you can't see any forces approaching. But as you're moving towards them, the bell again. Then a second time. And before the bell can ring a third time, there is a rumble, and from On the other side of the walls, there is a roar as this yellow-green scorch of flame rockets up the wall from the outside. You can hear some rocks crumbling around the area, and you in the air can see something shaking the wall.
I was keeping pace with Terra. I turn and look at Terra, and I run.
Go.
I start, like, full on fucking...
Are you spending key points, or are you just dashing as far as you can go?
So in a round, if I'm doing speed/dash action, that's 110 feet.
So never mind, no key points, just running, right? No
you
need
me
to
use a key point.
No, you're fine. And what's your max speed at the moment, Terra?
30 feet.
Dashing
I'm
60?
a human woman, yep.
Human
Dashing
woman.
60. I do cast mage armor on myself.
Yeah, just
at
like
will.
preemptively to go
Because
for
it's armor of shadows.
it. Oh, I know
Pact
it
of
well.
the Toad.
I
We
know
love
it
that
well.
word.
You like just touch the side of your book, and with a sort of wisp of cosmic energy, you pull it and sort of wend it around yourself before it's almost semi-solidifies around you as that barrier. What's your flying speed?
30 feet.
30, so 60.
Same, yeah.
So you two are at pace. You're a little ahead, but you're moving at the same pace as you're like just booking it through the streets.
Naruto running.
Just going. I can hear the flute. in my
I can
head.
say.
So you get there first with the pair of you, Angelo and Terra, getting there not too long after.
I'll run up the wall to stand on top of it.
I was just about to say, as you get to the wall, one of the guards turns to you. Ignis, good that you're here. They're at. And you're just, Naruto running again up the wall, right? But most importantly, I think you, Ignis, can hear the flute, right? Like you're on your own theme. So you get up to the top of the wall.
Yeah, Ignis is a little impressed with herself.
Yeah, sure, why not?
She's high on her own supply in the best way.
Yeah.
She's a badass bitch and she knows it.
You get to the top of the wall first. And on this portion of the wall, just above, sort of, you got the two sort of like the little mini tower tops here before it sort of goes down to where the part of the wall that houses one of these gates. And you can see on the edge of the wall, at 5 or so guards with a couple bows and some crossbows pointed down below the wall. As you get up there, they like look to you, but they're still mostly trained on the crossbow. Come here, quick! You peer over.
I stroll. After running, I once I'm there, I kind of like boom, 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 boom.
Take your glasses off, clean them, put them back on.
So I'm just waiting for my friends as well.
Fucking walks in, FBI thing, and is just like, what do we got here, boys?
Talk to me. Cigarette off the edge of the tower. Like, what am I looking at?
Talk to me, gentlemen.
As they're still training, you get to the edge. It just ambled over the hill. Straight to the gates. Warning shots, nothing stopped it. The bolts lodged into it. It didn't do anything. You see down right at the base of the wall is this 10-foot tall armored figure. They've got like a tabard draping down their front, but the rest of them is this gnarled, like black iron armor. Proportionate to their 10-foot size, they have a huge sword strapped over their back. It's basically one wrought piece of metal that has been bladed, basically. But at every crack in the armor leaks this almost ichor-like yellow-green flame. And their helmet almost looks like a spiked lantern with sort of grates running through vertically through the center of it, and this flame pours through that as well. You can see a couple bolts sticking out of it, and it's just standing there at the wall with its hands up, or arms up, hands on the wall, with smoke radiating from its hands. It tilts its head up and looks up at all of you. The five of the guards and you there. Clunk, clunk, tilts its head specifically towards you, and you see these jets of steam pour out the back of the helmet as the flames start to brighten as they lick out of the helmet.
I know you.
What are you going to do?
I glance back over my shoulder. How far away are my friends?
From over the shoulder and down the backside. Yeah, literally. In the air, you've got Angelo.
That whiskey earlier.
Shouldn't have had that cinnamon roll.
Oh,
Okay.
got a cramp.
They're probably about like between 10 and 20 seconds away from you. Not too long.
Okay. Jump off and away.
So often, like
To like, if wall here, dude here, I'm going.
yeah. So go behind
To,
it, kind of.
yeah, and be like, hey, fucker.
Okay. You leap off and away, and as you jump, it tracks you, and those yellow flames get bright white, and the heat haze around it intensifies. This radiant beam of flame shoots out of this thing's head towards you, and I need you to roll me a dexterity save with disadvantage since you're midair.
I'm changing to battle music.
Fuck.
The pair of you, especially you, Angelo, as you're flying, you watch from the wall as you see your comrade Ignis jump, and then following them, you can't see what's doing it, but you see this torrent of yellow-green vile flame fly up and towards them.
Would you call it magic?
Would I call it magic? Yes.
Okay, then I have advantage
Yep.
because of the.
So you have net neutral.
Cool. Dope. One roll. Dexter.
Oh no.
God damn it.
No. You flew too close to the sun, I think.
Guy.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I'm glad I talked about the temporary hit points.
I rolled a natural one.
You rolled.
You've balanced the scales.
You rolled a nat 1.
I rolled a natural one.
Okay.
Come here.
Give me 1 second to do this. Give me 1 second to get a dice roller up, because I need a lot of dice.
Oh, excuse me?
You get caught square in the blast of this. I'm not gonna make you take double damage or anything on a dex save. I don't have enough dice to do this. You know what? I'll do it this way. I'll just do the annoying Google one. As this like blast of cleansing flame hits you, you take, and I quote, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You take exactly even 50 points of fire damage as this beam of like hot, putrid, like awful sulfuric fire just catches you square into the chest.
Okay.
You have like that slow fall monk thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you like still on fire a bit, like deftly land and roll on the ground to put those flames out. Just behind it, about 15 or so feet, as it's immediately after like tracking you with the beam of flame, steam ejects off of it as its head turns to look at you first, before with another burst of like steam and smoke, its body swivels around on its own axis to face you, and its huge sword, it removes it from its back. The blade lands in the ground, and you watch as the hilt of the blade becomes one with its own arm. You both have seen Ignis jump off the tower, off the wall, and a blast of flame scorch back. You're hearing those bong, 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 those bells ring. You can see the townsfolk scattering away from you, guards rushing towards the walls.
Take a break.
We're going to take a break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back, entering into initiative, with the understanding that you guys are going to roll, but you're not going to get there until the second round.
How many feet away are we from that beam?
From the beam?
Or from the being?
From the being, right now, you're about just like 65 and change feet away from the gate itself. And then from the wall, it's 10 feet, maybe negligibly.
But
so
we can't see them past the wall. We just
no,
see the beam. Okay.
you can't. You saw the beam shoot up past the gates, but it's behind the wall on the other side of the wall outside the city, so it's hard to see. The gate is open at the moment, because it didn't seem bothered by walking into the city. It was at the walls, but you can't see the being itself at this moment. Okay.
Great.
Break time? Great.
Break time.
Let's come back at 8:50
Perfect.
Dopey dope.
Grab a snack.
for a little bit of theater of the mind.
We'll come back.
Shall we?
All right. We
Perfect.
shall be back.
If you guys have any questions about the campaign, about new Regulus, about our new friends, about the story we've been on, throw them in the chat and we'll answer them as quickly as we can before we get started, because it's going to be a slippery slope after we get going. Right.
All right. See you guys at 8:50.
See you guys at 8:50.
Yeet.
Alright, folks, we are back in. I hope you all at home grabbed a snack, grabbed a drink, feel yourself getting ready for some feisty 10,000 years on combat. Because I'm going to need you guys to roll me initiative. Again, for Terra and Angelo, understanding that you are going to arrive on the scene next round. But still putting into initiative. Now, who got above a 20?
Filthy 20.
Filthy 20, so it's starting.
23.
Okay,
But me then.
so...
Well, you're still going
Language
first
true.
because we're not coming into the second round.
Big... 2015. 15 to 10.
I got a 13.
13. Still better than the construct, which got a
Yay.
flat 10 because its dex is a -1.
Ew.
So we then go to Terra and cool. So we start with Angelo. You are still flying, I imagine, right to the top of the wall, right? So you basically spend your whole action and turn to. Are you going to land or just hover above the wall and look?
Where is 30 feet away from Ignis?
30 feet away from Ignis is further than you can move right now with a dash action.
Okay.
Because you're flying up in the air, I'm assuming at the level of the top of the walls, as that's where you were headed to originally. You get to the walls, and you're hovering up in the air, probably a couple, 10 or so feet above the top of the wall. Looking down, it's something like 70 or so feet to the ground. And from the ground, you can see the construct right there, and 15 feet in front of the construct, Ignis.
Okay.
So Ignis is like 80-something feet away from you.
Yeah, I'll just land on the wall.
Great. You land on the wall, ready, looking over. Again, these trained guardsmen, these crossbowmen, look to you and give you a nod and go, "Down there! Quickly!" Ignis, you are 15 feet away from this steaming, flaming construct of iron. It's just blasted you and removed its sword. What do you want to do?
I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. Great. So you just veil yourself.
Yeah. That's my action. Bonus action. What the fuck would I do? I definitely draw my sword.
Nice. Is that a sex thing?
Yes.
For my bonus action, I'll use my feature, my class feature, Planar Warrior, where as a bonus action, I choose one creature, and on the next, oh no, it's on this turn. Never fucking mind.
Never fucking mind, bro.
Never
Yeah, you
fucking
can just
mind,
keep it. You can.
Yeah.
Okay, you moving anywhere? Or are you staying?
Yeah,
still?
I'm gonna. I take one of the candies from my pocket, and I toss it left, but I run right.
Okay, you toss the candy and you bolt, and you watch it just track you as you move.
Shit.
That's what
Not the
Ignis is saying.
candy.
Yeah, still invisible. Oh fuck, shit. It's like when you're playing like a battle royale and you hear the gunshots coming around you. You have no idea who's shooting you. Oh shit.
Okay.
So how far are you strafing?
I guess like 30 feet, and so that I'm now on his same line, parallel to the
wall. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'll
So
try to get. I'll
you
try
just
to
went
be.
like that, basically.
I'll try to be 30 feet away from
Yeah,
him.
that's perfectly fine. So you sort of like peel back,
Maybe
and
even
around a little
35,
bit.
like a little step away.
I'm here for it. So you're 35 feet away. It's got its eyes on you. Its mantle,
Yeah.
sort of focused on you, unmoving, other than its head tilting towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Terra, with Angelo landing on top of the wall, you arrive at the open front gate with guards now amassing on either side, ready to climb up the ladder towards the top. They're starting to ding, 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 winch the gate closed. The portcullis is coming down. And one of the guards doing the winch. Are you in or out?
I cast Misty Step and I go to 30 feet to the other side of the
Fuck
gate.
Yeah, just, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, we ever played Overwatch at this table?
Yes.
Oh,
When
absolutely.
Reaper presses that button and like holds the guns up. Yeah, it's one of those. Great. So you're just,
What is his?
It's the
He
sound
usually says
effect.
like I am something or other.
it's something
It's been
ridiculous.
a long ass
Yeah,
time
me
since
too.
I've watched.
Like oh, it's always some shitty pun. Also, like the darkness betrays you.
You keep going.
Yeah, you just pop up on the other side of the gate. Are you moving the full 30 feet with the Misty Step?
Full 30 feet.
You're gonna end up like right next to the incinerator with the full 30 feet.
No, not full 30 feet. I want to be like out of reach of them, but
Yeah.
within like 60 feet.
So
of them.
basically, we can have you Misty Step, maybe the 30 feet, but just like diagonally away.
Yeah.
So you'll end up, let's say 25 feet on the other side. So if
Okay.
invisible Ignis is 30 feet away from it on the left, you're 25 feet away from it on the right.
I would like to, because that was a bonus action, I would like to cast from my Staff of the Falling Star, Magnify Gravity at the creature's feet.
I knew there was a reason I kept these spells up.
Death comes.
Sure. Death.
They have
From the
to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, you just like hold. Basically, this staff is very, very simple. I mean, it's really old. You pulled it from that bale, the second lich. It's like a gnarled thing of dark wood with a beautiful sphere of a purple gemstone in the top. And when you hold it,
We are
You are.
frozen.
oh,
Something's going on with the cameras.
It's been doing this.
all night long.
Technical difficulties. It just can't handle our beauty.
Great. Great. We want to keep talking and
I'm
moving as we
grabbing
go.
my
keep going.
boobs.
Keep going.
Yeah, fabulous. So, yeah, when it's this beautiful purple gemstone, it's a very simple, gnarled, dark wood staff, and when you use it, you know the scientific symbols for like magnetic rings, like there's sort of concentric rings on one side, concentric rings on another.
Yeah, yeah.
It like emits those sigils in the air as you cast the spell. So with Magnify Gravity, you hold the staff up, those magnetic discs rotate, and yeah, con save, you said?
Con save, yep.
Con save on the construct here, that's gonna be a 25.
Oh, fuck me.
Con is
Okay.
its jump stat, so that's
Okay.
good.
Well, it does take damage.
Great.
It takes half of 6d8 damage, and I'm just gonna give
Huh?
it a smaller because I'm a warlock. I cast it at the highest level spell.
Staff hacks with a warlock. Didn't think about that, but I like it. I like it. So we're here for it.
Alright, and we're rolling.
Wow. All right. That's gonna be a lot of damage.
Okay, so 12 points of force damage.
It's pretty good.
12. Yeah. It basically like it is buffeted by this gravitational force, and it sort of like shifts its footing a little bit, grounds itself again before tilting its head towards you. You doing anything else?
Until the start of my next turn, an object that isn't being worn or carried in the sphere requires a successful strength check against my spell save DC to pick up or move.
Right, because it's being basically, it's again you, that sort of cylinder around it, this pressure. Yeah, if anyone's looking to pick any of the grass in that area, they're gonna have a really fucking hard time.
Or
doing
like a
it.
flower, just like
That candy you threw out of the
Yeah,
game.
that candy you threw is like now ingrained into the fucking dirt. Archaeologists 60,000 years from now will be like, ah yes, the sherbet lemon. What was it doing here?
they can't find the city.
It's just
but they
burrowed
can
into
find
the ground. Yeah,
the candy.
yeah. Brilliant. Okay, that I think takes us to the construct's turn, does it not?
Yes.
Con.
Who just what is its movement? Yeah, its movement is I haven't really Oh, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Sorry, just making sure I know all of the things I'm doing. Okay, cool. I mean, it like, again, steam hisses out of its face and sort of wends away a little bit. It doesn't fully rekindle its fire, so it just marches its way straight over to you. And with its sort of imbued sword that's built into its arm, it's gonna swing twice at you.
No.
The first one is gonna be just a regular
I apologize.
sword slash attack. That's gonna be a 31 to hit.
Father, forgive me.
Yeah,
Father,
that-
Forgive me.
Somehow makes it.
Somehow makes it.
I but a warlock.
I might amend these stats in a second, but we'll get there. That's just gonna be, what is that? 16 slashing damage and an additional 4 points of fire damage. So 20 points of damage total as the flames on the edge of the blade just sort of ignite and stab into you. It takes the second and its hand like sort of retreats into its arm a little bit, retracts as it tries to project the sword into you for an impale. That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Okay.
almost 10 plus my
10
AC.
plus your AC. It thrusts this sword completely through your thigh, which lodges into the ground, and it leaves the sword go. So you're completely restrained by the sword blade here.
Good thing I don't need my thighs to cast spells.
Bitch ass! So let me just roll the damage here for the impale. That's going to be 27 points of piercing damage and 7 points of fire damage.
27 piercing, 7 fire.
Yep. So, yes, so 34 total. Can you roll me a strength saving throw?
All of my dice hate me today.
We need to buy some new dice.
That's a 10.
That's a 10, yeah. So you try and, as the sword goes in and you take the force of that blow, you try and sort of like wrench your leg free of, or wrench the sword free of the ground with your leg, but you were stuck there. You were absolutely stuck there. Okay, so at the start of your turn, you're going to be finding yourself there. You can use an action to fully remove the sword, or somebody else can as well, but for now you are pinned to the spot. And as it thrusts that sword into you, it immediately, like, seeing you stuck there and literally, like, watching you bleed,
Oh.
its head first turns around back to face you, the body swivels with it, and it takes 5 feet towards you, leaving you, Terra, stuck in the ground.
But does it have another sword with it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
Thanks,
something.
No
problem.
I've disarmed it.
I've got its sword, guys!
Don't worry about it. I'm over here vibing.
I'm never gonna be able to walk again.
Literally, like, artery pierce. Okay, we go to the top of the round with Angelo atop the walls. You've just seen all this take place. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fly. No, I'm gonna. Well, yeah, fly downward
Yeah, just
to where Ignis is, and I'm going to use the emotional resonance to.
okay. Are you
Fire
flying
resistance.
down all 60 feet with your dash action and like falling the rest, or are you flying like 30 feet down and staying up and like
Yeah,
buffing them
so
from the air?
buffing from the air, but just within 30 feet.
Yeah.
So that I can do that, but I'm gonna stay in the air so that
Okay.
I can also lob a spell.
Yeah, so you float down from the walls. You hover sort of 30 feet above Ignis and like shout. Well, you can't even see Ignis.
Fuck me. I'm invisible.
Ignis is invisible. You can't buff Ignis. You can't see.
You have no idea.
You done fucked up. I told you this
The
before we
construct
started.
can
What
see
we were
Ignis.
gonna do.
So you fly down to somewhere. You can see. I mean, if you wanted to fly down 30 feet of Terra here, you could.
I mean, that's what you would do. If you came over the ridge and you were like, friend.
Yeah, so I'll give the buff to.
Oh, you basically just fly 30 feet down, so you're 30 feet diagonally from either in theory point. Basically, you're hovering above where the construct was before it moved. Right, you're triangulating the position. And you point down and let that like emphatic, warm, wholesome feeling sort of extend from you. Tendrils of heat like rippling around you, and you now have resistance to fire damage for a considerable amount of time.
Great.
I imagine you smell the cinnamon sweet bun as this.
I love that.
I feel like I've just peed my pants, but I'm okay
In the
with
best
it.
way.
Yeah.
You know when you're completely wasted and you just piss yourself wherever you are?
No.
No, I'm talking like, the sensation that causes people to like drop their trousers in the middle of New York City streets and like take a piss in an alley, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see it. It does not mean now, is this me freshman year at Ethical College peeing behind a dorm room? Certainly. Certainly, I've been. It's the loss of inhibitions to a greater warmth.
Yeah.
basically.
Okay. Yep.
Keep going. No.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Please tell us about the sensation you
At
have.
the very least, the sword doesn't hurt quite as much in the leg.
Okay.
That's
A little
nice.
bit.
There is no time limit.
An hour. An hour.
I mean,
It's an
yeah,
hour.
sure. Yeah, I just
Didn't
read
write
it.
it,
I was
but
like,
it's
there's
an
nothing. I just couldn't find
forever.
it. It's like
I feel
don't
like
know how
I've
long
peed
I can do
myself
this.
always.
all the time.
All the time. It's
Perpetual
sort of like
hot flash.
Welcome to my world.
it's the sensation of a sensory deprivation bath. Like if you've ever been in one of those this water that's highly salted with specific minerals that make you lose sensation in your skin, so you feel like you're like immersed in this pool, basically. This
This is
warm
the
pool.
Joe Rogan podcast.
Sure. It's that kind of sensation. You just feel like the edges of yourself feel warmer, right? And more importantly, you have resistance to fire damage for an hour. Are you doing anything else? That was
Yes.
your bonus action, right? You're lobbing a spell?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast. Otilux, freezing sphere.
Yeah.
I'm going for the
Oh yeah.
pronunciation there. I couldn't get it. It's instant state, instantaneous. I can't read or talk
Yeah,
or
great.
anything.
You got
today.
it.
It's an instant. See, it's an
Jesus.
instantaneous spell. It needs a Constitution saving throw. The range is 300 feet, so I'm sure it's fine.
It hits.
And on a failed save, the creature takes 10d6 cold damage.
What's your arcane focus?
My arcane focus?
Mhm.
It's the. Well, I imagine.
I've sort of
It's
thought it might be the Sacramentum.
Sacramentum, but it's hand in hand with the apparatus in it. I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I imagine that the sacrament is probably you've installed it into the apparatus that you wear now as well. So you just like raise out your arm, which has some of the apparatus built in around it, right on this clothing, and that cold air wends and whirls before forming this like sphere of ice and wind that just travels across the air and shatters over this construct here. Con save is going to be a 16, I want to say. 16, yeah.
16? What's my
8 plus int plus proficiency.
Int.
plus?
8 plus the treant.
Why wouldn't you say prof? If you're gonna
8 plus int plus prof.
8 plus int plus prof.
It's hard to say.
Dunder.
8 plus int plus... yeah, it is.
Welcome to dinner.
8 plus prof plus int.
If it meets it, it beats it, so it's 16.
16, yep, that does
So
meet.
on a failed save, it takes half damage.
Or on a successful save, it takes half damage.
Yeah, sorry. On a successful save, it takes half damage.
Cool.
Roll that dice.
So roll those dice, baby.
I'm gonna do this on D&D Beyond. Because I don't have...
The other day I was on D&D Beyond and I was trying to roll stuff and the dice were having an issue and it was like every 5 seconds, roll, 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 And I was sitting there waiting like a crazy person.
Right.
Just going elsewhere.
Is it stopping? No, it's keeping.
Half of 35.
Half of 35. Okay, so that's
20 or 16.
16. Thank you kindly. It takes 16 points of cold damage as it sort of just shoulders it a little bit, almost smashing the sphere before it hits it, and let some of that frost holds over.
I guess technically 18. Right?
No, round down.
Round down.
Cool. Okay, I was right the first
Yeah.
time.
And I get an extra attack. Sorry. I will also...
You get an extra attack, but that doesn't count when you cast spells.
Yeah.
That's if you take the attack action.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's ghetto.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you, it's
It's
hard
one
when
of
you
those
play
shitty
like a
rule
martial slash caster, because like you kind of have to.
It's like the bonus action to cast the spell, the action to use your attack action, right? As opposed to when you use your action to cast the full spell, that's the action spent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. So the thing shatters, and you're still hovering up there, just the 30 feet.
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna move to Ignis now.
Cool. Well, fuck it. Invisibility drops because it doesn't fucking matter. How far away am I?
You are 30 feet away.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's moved, right? You were 30 feet away before.
25.
It's
It took
50.
5 feet.
50. Because you were 35 away, it moved 25, and then moved back 5. So it's 50 feet exactly away from you.
All right. Well, I run forward, and as I run, I start to pick up speed, and the very elegant, almost like platinum-esque longsword on my back starts to glow a little bit, and after I get to within 30 feet of it, as my bonus action, it jumps off my back and flies forward
Great.
because it's a dancing longsword.
Ooh.
And then I whip out from my back the like a short sword.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess it'll get there before me for flavor. So bonus action, it attacks.
Okay. As you're running, the sword flies out, slashes against it.
That's a 17 to hit.
17 to hit. Just clinks against the armor.
That's fine. But as it does that, I also jump forward and try to like slash past it for my first attack with my short sword.
It clanks, it sort of turns towards the sword as you cut through the other way.
Yes. Hopefully I roll well. Fuck me. Nope. 14.
14, yeah, you just barely even
Clink.
glance against the side of it.
Fuck me. All right. Second attack. Better. 23.
Yeah, that glance against the side first, you flip the short sword around in your hand, point facing forward, you stab it into it, and it lands home.
Okay.
Roll the damage.
Not doing that too much damage. I miss Unin so much.
You were just saying how you miss playing a monk.
Unin was a god.
Yeah.
I disagree. 11 points.
11 points of damage, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I take I take 5 feet back with the
You're like,
rest of my
up.
movement.
Yep, yeah.
Just to like have that.
Do you do this like a basketball move where you like, you know, get out of the way?
No, I do like a fucking flip and shit. I don't know.
Shoot.
So
yeah.
the dancing one sort of still around it.
Yeah.
The Lux blade is still like up there.
And I'm trying to kind of flank with it. I'm not gonna get flanking. I mean,
Right.
literally, I
like
if
it's
one
here,
side,
you're
I-
there, right? Yeah, I got you. I was gonna say, I don't know about flanking
No,
with a
yeah,
sword, but yeah, I'm with you.
I'll discuss that with Woody and you later. But I understand
Sure.
the rules as they are written.
Yeah. I'd be willing to, in theory, consider a exception for sentient weapons. I'd be willing to
I've
understand.
always
We just have to
thought
talk about it. Okay, we move to Terra, sword and leg.
Oh, I grab onto the sword, and I have 2 smaller moon tattoos on my shoulders, and then one on my neck from Ystava, and they like glow a little bit, and then from each one comes an eldritch blast.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're still sword in leg,
I'm just
right?
holding on to it and just.
Okay, great. Roll me those 3 different attacks.
Oh, one of them's natural 20.
Oh, that'll do double damage.
The other one's a 19, and the other one is a 23.
So the nat 20, that first bolt from the throat, carves down and just smashes into the joint between its head plate and neck plates. The second one glances across the breastplate and doesn't smash. The third one just nails it.
Oh, okay, so 16 plus 8 is 30. No. Yeah,
16
34.
plus 8 is...
No, 24.
24. Is that the...
So,
the
no. So I rolled an 8 on the first one, so that's 16. The second one was 5. The third one was 8, so...
Only 2 of them hit.
2 of them hit.
2 of them hit? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So the 2 8s hit then, so...
And then one of them
24.
you rolled twice.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
got
So
24
it's
total
24.
for like
Yes, sorry,
smash,
that was
smash.
the worst way to
Got
explain
it.
that.
No, I'm with you. 24 points of damage. Yeah, you just like... Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I...
24 points of
no, no.
damage.
Yeah,
And then
this like... how does your Eldritch Blast manifest?
It looks like the Ystava glitter magic.
Right, like hot topic, like
Mm-hmm.
black purple glitter just like rippling through the air, almost, you know, gloaming in its wake, trailing shatter.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
You know how like the like Dementors would travel in the
Yeah,
movies
yeah,
and
like-
stuff? It's like that but glitter.
Yeah, just like sparkly, right?
Yep.
Like pumped out of cannons at a Billie Eilish concert,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Great. Okay.
And my spellcasting focus are my tattoos.
I assumed as much.
Yes.
Um,
Bonus action, I'd like to heal myself.
Great.
I'll just
I
expend
also
some.
forgot to do this. Since you're at the start of your turn with this blade still in you, it like is just roasting the inside of your leg.
Oh, that's
So you're gonna take
yummy.
3d6 of fire damage. You of course have resistance to fire damage. So without resistance, that's 15.
So,
With resistance, it's 7.
Okay.
You take 7 points of fire damage from the blade still inside you.
Gotcha. Ouchie. Okay. Okay. 13 points of healing back.
Perfect. So, not 7 points.
Not 7.
So, great.
Yeah, I did the math. And that's my turn, because I
Great,
can't move.
because you're stuck there. Right. We move on to the construct's turn. Let me first, as it sort of clicks its head in place, the steam sort of really lazily still emitting from its vents in its back and its head. It's just going to go for 2 hefty, like, one punch down, another slam, two-handed on your back. First one towards you, Terra, or Ignis rather, takes, let's say, 25 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Second one hits. I think, right? 28? Yeah. Okay. First one, as this sort of just fist
TPK?
slams down on you. I don't think so. I hope not. I hope not. First one is, yeah, exactly like that. 10 points of damage. Second one smacks into you harder with those 2 hands with 24 points of damage.
In total? Or, so 34.
34 total. With
Ow.
1 down on the back, this heavy hitting thing.
And you're still invisible, or no? No, you dropped.
You're
You
dropped,
dropped.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
Otherwise, we just see him stabbing nothing. This dude's on drugs.
Well, at that point, I'd hope we know who we
Yeah.
were.
Well, that nothing is bleeding. Profusely.
There's blood coming from empty space.
Oh,
so
I think we
let's-
can assume.
He's having a gusher.
It smells as you're near it just like sulfur and iron. What's your passive perception?
I have advantage on that, and it is.
Advantage on passive perception.
I do.
You have a bonus to it.
Mumbo.
You mean you have a bonus to it?
Yeah,
Can't
that's
have
what I meant.
Yeah,
I
so you can't have advantage on something you don't
Well,
roll.
you don't roll. I can't remember why, but I do have a bonus that
Yeah.
we won't worry about it right
21?
now. Sure. Yeah, 21.
Right there.
Yep, it's right there. Yep.
21? Yeah. With this blade in your leg, the way the flame is singeing your skin feels weirdly the same as when the little construct mites burned their way out of your skin.
This thing is part of the whole... What is the organization? I forgot the organization's name.
Futurist.
The Futurist. This thing is a futurist. Take it down.
Oh, that wasn't what I was doing. Now I'll do that.
I have a sword in my leg, Ig.
You're fine.
You're fine! As you felt like iron fists slamming into your spine. Great.
I've taken
It's just like, Jesus.
So, at the end of round 2, you hear from atop the walls,
Taking almost 100 points of damage.
you hear from atop the walls somebody yell, "Guards! Let loose!" And you
we're
go,
gonna get
"Ting, ting, 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 ting," and these crossbow bolts soar down towards the construct here.
About damn time they
They
helped.
roll a 1.
No,
He's got to roll
they were there first. I
a
don't know
deck.
why
Oh, we crit failed the deck save.
Oh,
Crit failed the
thank
deck
God.
save.
I was about to be like, did they just roll a 1 and I'm gonna get shot?
2, 3, 4.
You killed the savior, the plague clearers, the plague saviors.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Wind, and Fire.
Fire is dead.
The construct
Earth's
is
not looking too hot.
going to take 15, 20. Construct is going to take 21 points of
remember?
piercing damage
When we got backed up
as this volley
by a construct.
sort of, ding, and all these bolts sort of sink into place here, and it still doesn't even flinch from looking at you. And you hear again from there, "Reload!" Top of round 3. Angelo.
I'm gonna.
You're gonna choke.
I am going to choke.
I commence death.
Yes, I'm going to use this wonderful, wonderful elemental twin spell.
Ooh.
And the twin spells that I will be using are lightning bolt and fireball.
Lightning bolt. Cast
have
2
the
non-concentration
same-
spells of 2 different elements at once to create a phenomenon known as a 12 spell.
They have to have the same duration and the same casting time. Casting time is 1 action for both, and the duration instantaneous for both.
Great.
They also do the same amount of damage, just different.
Feature can be used once per long rest. So which are you casting again?
Lightning bolt and fireball. I also get an extra D4 on fireball because that is the.
So again, hand up to the air, a little cloud sort of forms out of nowhere. A bolt of lightning strikes into your hand, crackles through your skin as you're manifesting this ball of flame in the other, and you whip both at once as this orb flies down, this little raging mote of fire, wreathed in lightning before it smashes into this thing. That's 2 different deck saves, right?
Yeah, deck saves.
Okay, I'll do deck save on the fireball first.
All right.
That's a colossal failure. That's a 4. Deck save on the lightning bolt is a 10.
Both of those are fails.
So that's gonna hit both.
That's 16d6 plus.
So roll them separately.
Yeah,
for
I will.
me.
I will. I'll do the fireball first because that's an extra d4 as well.
One time I was in a shop that sold rocks like this.
Yeah.
And on one wall there was a whole wall for personal massagers. And they were just dildos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Sometimes when I look at this, I'm reminded of that moment.
Yep.
This would not be a fun one.
There's a dice holder I keep meaning to bring in. It's like a little man carved out of obsidian who's like in a robe, and you're supposed to put a die there or something. The person I bought this little statuette from also was selling pure obsidian cocks. Like
That's a good-
polished obsidian penises.
That's a good band name.
Yeah. Pure obsidian cock.
POC.
the OC.
Oh!
I can't.
We are pure obsidian cog. Let us rock you tonight.
It's a 25 for
fireball.
25 for the fireball.
And I will roll right now for the other.
So as the fireball hits it, those flames erupt around it and just sort of before being absorbed into its being.
Of course they were.
And sort of mended into its own flame. It doesn't heal, but it takes no damage from the fireball.
Alright, well, it's 35 damage from the lightning.
Say it again.
35 damage from
35 damage from the lightning. Yeah, that. So the bolt of flame hits it first. It begins to absorb that flame as the lightning just crackles over it, and it takes 35 points of fucking fire damage. Okay. Yeah. Some of that lightning begins to almost melt some of the armor a little bit to itself. Hits hard. You're still floating up there, right? You're not moving anywhere?
No.
Okay, hovering right above.
Unless... Can I see Ignis now?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Ignis is right... Oh my god, roll a dex save.
What do you mean?
Fireball.
Oh.
Well, it happened.
Well, before he does
At least
that...
I have advantage. 24.
Oh, you succeed.
So it's
you're
half
half
of-
of 25.
So, 12.
Great.
Well,
This
at this
is not
moment, I'll
looking
also
great.
use my bonus action to get the resistance as well. To
Yeah. So you
So does
see...
that drop on me?
the
no,
Oh,
it's,
no.
it's as many times equal to my proficiency bonus. I just can only use it once for bonus
Use
action.
it before you drop for
Well, I'm
So-
sorry that...
Ignis yells at
look
Angelo.
up. You're in the middle of being beat to shit by this construct, and you look up and you see the fucking avenging angel of Angelo up there with only love in his eyes. Just hurling down this fucking tempest of flame
I'm like,
and lightning.
Ignis,
And then-
fire, easy.
And then
This is fine.
afterwards,
This is definitely, and I repeat, definitely not the first time this has happened. I'm talking catacombs underneath the Collegium.
Damn.
I'm talking in the middle of the cradle. You have been burned by this guy multiple times. So seeing him up there being, fucking animating it out, doing that, it's just like, God.
This kid
So
again.
you brace yourself forward, you get burned, 12 points fire damage, and then in response, sorry.
Here's resistance.
My loving resistance. So you're now resistant to fire damage for an hour.
That's so funny to me. I'm so sorry.
it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Thanks.
Wreathed in flame and flame resistance. It's your turn.
That's funny.
I cry. I'll start bonus
This thing-
action with the dancing longsword to hit it. Natural 20.
There it is
That's 20
again.
double damage dice.
Fuck yes.
The fire cleanses you. You're angry and ready.
Yeah, apparently.
I love the flame.
Ignis,
No,
I mean-
It's like that guy from
D8?
Fireball. It's like, the dollar burst. Cleanse me.
D8?
Burn me, cleanse me.
Alright.
7 of 8 is 15.
15, yeah, just clean cut right through the armor. 15 points of fire damage, of magical slashing damage. Dancing along till the Lux blade is still hovering there.
After it does that, with the most just fucking exhaustion
I think you mean love.
I think what round is this?
3.
So
I am influencing a lot of
so
love in your emotions.
less than 20 seconds have passed,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
I am down
18
almost 100 hit points.
Yeah. You've been hurt.
Hand up, I cast inflict wounds at 3rd level.
Nice.
Okay, you
Organize.
just like, is this a touch spell?
Yes.
So you just, having been burned by your own party member, you just stand up, dancing on, swing, you just hand on the breastplate of this construct and let that magic seep.
Has my wife given me any sort of inspiration from the fucking chat
I don't think so.
before I divorce her?
Oh, Jesus! Bro! Roll me...
Say that.
Fantastic.
What's the... Is it a spell attack or is it a
It's a spell attack.
Okay.
That's why I'm gonna wait 3.
I don't know if this is...
Waiting.
I don't know if this is right.
Until D&D 28.
As the DM, I don't know how I feel about this.
About me blackmailing.
Don't get in the middle of
The
their
chat.
relationship.
Yeah, I'm just speaking what I have to say.
Couldn't have even helped.
Tell me
Yeah,
it's good,
because
bro.
you could have also just rolled a 1 on the d6
No, it's a
anyway.
13.
That's not bad.
13, yeah, I mean, the magic just doesn't take hold.
You did just get fireballed by. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I love you.
Yeah, it just doesn't cling to the metal very well.
down.
It's too much harsh
That
emotions for the love you're feeling.
counts, though. That counts as a melee attack. It was a melee spell attack. I back the figgity fuck up.
It does. It does count.
I'll back up. Oh, fuck. He'll just turn to Terra.
It's okay. It's okay.
I back up like 25 feet.
Okay. You're just like getting the hell away a little bit.
Yeah, it's like in my mind, like it's since I can't be attacked. It's kind of like a half blink, half run backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm just straight teleporting, but it's like
Noing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even if they tried, they wouldn't have been
It's
able
like
to.
a shadow step
Yeah, like-
almost. There, yeah. I'm totally with you. Move up, and it's sort of still tracking you there. Okay, Terra, your turn.
I'm over this. I'm casting Finger of Death.
Oh wait, before we get any further, again that sword is still stuck right in your leg. Those little flaming mites burn their way away. 12 points of fire damage, rounded down to 6.
Cool. Great.
As some of that is just absorbed into the aura of love around you.
Oh, the aura of love. Yeah, I would like to cast Finger of Death. Would you please make a Constitution saving throw?
I can do that. I can do that for you. That's cocked to fuck. That's 27,
Okay, they still take half damage.
which is still half of a lot of damage as far as I remember.
What's half of 57?
20.
23.
20?
Nope. Sorry.
No, yeah, it would be
20.
like almost 30, right?
27.
No.
Yeah, right?
It's a good thing we have these things called rocks.
28.
57 divided by 2
28.
is 28.
28.
So yeah, 28.
Yep. 28 points of damage. You just
My brain broke.
finger gun.
I was like, what?
The tattoos glow. That beam of enervation just shoots out of your arm, and it sort of just catches it in the back, crunching its arm down a little bit. 28, you said?
28. 28 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, cool. That's great. Yep. It's again more of its armor starting to just melt away, revealing more of that flame within. And you're staying put still, right? You're stuck
I'm
with the blade.
staying put. I have one more thing I want to do.
Please.
I want to heal my sister. I'm gonna heal you for some.
How?
I have an ability called Healing Light.
The celestial walk.
I have 16d6 healing pool that I can use as a bonus action to heal people within 60 feet of me. So is she 60 feet? Yep. So I can only do 66 at a time though.
That's okay.
Okay.
Take
Just
it.
like a little mwah.
I would take a D6
celestial
at this
boon.
fucking point.
That
Okay.
is 21 points of healing.
Yeah.
Some more of
that's
that hot or big glitter winds around
amazing.
you and sort of stitches your wounds together a little bit.
Happy about it.
And
Okay.
that is my turn. I'm not moving.
Great.
You
well,
can't.
I hold on to that sword.
you're about to be able to because
Oh, no.
after
Pull
what
it
you just
out?
did, it just goes, it holds its arm out and the sword turns into fire, reemerges on its hand, clinks back into place, and boom, 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 it takes a run at you. First, it's got to do a little roll.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I think you have fire
Seems to-
resistance.
Boom, boom, boom. It leaps into the air with the first one, and the sword switches downwards, and it's going to try and impale you, Ignis. So that's going to be a... a dirty 20 to hit.
Misses. 21, baby.
Okay. It just... You
I'm on
dodge
that
out of the
monk
way.
shit.
Crunch into the earth. It brings the sword up. It switches it clink, 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 back around into a bladed form and swings up at you. That's a natural 20.
No.
That is a natural 20 for the sword swipe.
Say that so excitedly.
Thrilled with yourself. That's a natural 20.
I mean, I'll take what I can get.
How much damage do you think it could do?
We're about to find out. I don't know. Where's my other D8? I'm missing dice.
We ain't gonna let you die. We ain't gonna let you die.
I know. We're at a high enough level where even if I get hit down,
So 6
even if
of
I
them.
get KO'd, like, 100.
This is
Also,
Just
our
don't
names
let
are in
me
that
die.
book, right?
Yes, your
So
names are
you
in the
can't
book.
even die.
10.
It can
Yeah.
only be used once
Yeah.
per a long rest, though. So
17.
don't both of you die.
Yeah, right. So you just
17.
that's why I'm staying
So
back.
if I-
24.
What is in the book?
If you get
If you
down
go
to
down,
0
you'll pop back up to 1.
to 1. Yeah.
Fuck yes.
So you take
That might be
I do have
happening.
Revivify too.
That might be happening right
no.
now.
you take 36 points of
Oh.
magical slashing
Oh,
damage as
no.
this thing
Fine.
slashes into you and brings its arm down
It would have
again.
been more of a problem if you hadn't.
I literally. Oh no, it does heal on fire. I literally didn't even. It has both fire absorption and magic resistance, and I failed.
Well,
It
next
has
time.
magic,
That's
it has
what I mean, next
magic
time.
resistance.
It does have magic resistance, yeah.
So this whole time I've been lobbing spells at it.
Yeah.
And
Well, I didn't.
Nope.
I didn't read, so that's on me. Yeah.
That's good
So
to
it
know.
slashes you for that damage, and then it's I think just posted up in place right at you.
Wait, I feel like I know this monster. What is the stat block?
It's not in the books.
It reminds me of the Helmed Horror or something.
Yeah, it's definitely on that vibe, but it's not that. It's not that monster. Okay, so it's posted up right again within 5 feet of you, Ignis, as we move. As the boys from up on high. Guards! Again! Loose! These sort of volleys come down. It's going to make a dex save again. It just chunks it. Blows the biscuit.
Thankfully, it is in front of me, so it takes all of the crossbow bolts.
Yeah, it does. I mean, they're targeted as well. So, and it of 5d8s, it was 4 8s and a 6.
Nice.
So 16, 32, 38.
Are you gonna get? Are the guards gonna get?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Guards are gonna get a KO.
I will be upset.
Cool. So it takes a ton of damage there as its armor pieces sort of break and shatter off. There's a surge and this groaning sound within it as the flames that hold itself together erupt around it, and the whole thing is wreathed in this sickening yellow fire, which you can tell, especially after the sword was brought out of you, isn't organic flame. It is not made up of actual fire.
Okay.
So
Top of the round, we go to Angelo.
Did I go?
does the
Yeah, you did go. You healed.
Oh
and
yeah,
you,
that's right.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Come on now.
does the fire resistance?
I didn't have
work
my
then?
second turn. What?
It seems to.
Oh, okay.
It's all I'm saying is these aren't actual
It's
flames.
not like a real Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. They're artificial in a sense.
Yeah. You don't know that, but
Well, right, but
Terra does. Yeah.
yeah.
They're like the little thingies.
Well,
Yeah.
now that I've learned that it has
A
magic
dollar
resistance. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
There you go. Yeah.
I have the longsword katana, right?
Yes.
That-
Yeah, you
okay,
do.
yeah,
That would have been found in the cradle.
Dope. Okay. So, how far away is the? How far away is Ignis and the creature, or whatever?
It's. Oh, the math, the Pythagorean theorem. I can feel it. I can see it in my eyes. It's.
Why we go to school?
I'm here with it. You were 30 feet up. It is 30 feet and then another 20. So it's like 40 and change away from you.
Within 60.
Within 60.
So I can dash. I don't.
Yeah,
need
you
to-
can dash, but
I
it will
can't-
take your action.
Well, I can also use an action surge, right?
Oh my god, you're a fucking fighter. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I forgot.
Just like fuck me.
So yeah, that's
Feels
what I'll do
good.
then. I'll do the
Action
dash
surge
and
feels so
get as
good.
close.
So you spend your 6 with the wind, with your wings rather, to dash down towards it, and you just brace yourself with an action surge. You're hurtling towards it like a living bullet. What are you doing?
I'm going in for an attack
Okay.
with the katana.
Okay.
So I'm just going in for like a slash down its.
A two-handed, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it. Throws dice on
Looks
ground.
like
That's so ridiculous.
yeet throw. Oh no! It's because you abused your dice.
Is that a 1?
Yeah.
Roll the damage.
No! No!
Don't fuck with me. I'm
The-
melee range. Roll for damage.
The damage of the sword?
Roll for the damage on the sword.
Okay. Fuck. Hold
What
on,
other
let me-
damage was there?
Right.
Where are
I
you?
believe it's a D10 plus proficiency plus dex.
I'm
I
so
thought a longsword was a D8.
You said you were two-handing it,
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right.
so it's a D10.
But it's plus your strength. Do you have a high strength?
Deck? It's a katana. It's a versatile weapon.
Fuck
it's a dex
me.
based.
You mean finesse?
Yes, that's what I mean. It's finesse and versatile.
A
I know I'm getting
D10
hit, but at least I'm
and
Plus proficiency.
plus
Plus
proficiency.
dex.
D10 is 7.
I don't care if that's in the rulebook. So my katana is not a strength weapon. It's a dexterity based weapon for sure.
yeet. Yeah. It's finesse.
You are a dancing
Sorry, plus dex, plus what?
monster.
Proficiency.
Plus proficiency. Okay, proficiency is
And it's just a regular katana, so it's not a not magical
9
plus one.
plus 9 plus 7. Whatever that is. I don't know.
9 plus 7, 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming down like the fucking avenging angel that you are, and you go for that beautiful, like, Ichigo slash, and the construct just sidesteps you, and you cut straight through Ignis for 16 points of damage.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, after not only raining fire, you come down and just cleanly cut straight through your adventuring companion.
Ow.
It's not our best day.
I hate myself.
I'm not putting booze in the coffee anymore.
I didn't even drink coffee this morning. Maybe that's the problem.
I believe you have another attack action.
I'm the one getting fucking cut.
I do.
So you land on the ground, having cut through your
what Ignis
your
says.
companion here. Are you swinging back? As you say sorry profusely?
Yeah. Yes.
Great.
So we'll try it again.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God, if you roll a 1, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, that's better.
Okay.
That's a
Gee,
7.
I'm scared.
If you lop my head off, I'm not coming back.
Just being too
Y'all will try to resurrect me,
Sorry.
and I will say no.
Wait, what's your proficiency bonus?
5.
-5 from your damage. You're not supposed to take damage that's proficiency bonus based.
Oh,
That's only for the attack roll.
so 16 minus 5.
So it's 11. You took 11, not 16.
Thank God. So add 5.
Add 5. Yeah.
This is still two-handed.
So two-handed, on the attack roll, you add the
yeah.
5 there.
It's really helping.
24.
Yeah, that's going to hit. You're going to manage to nail the chink in the armor. You can tell as it's coming in, as it connects, that the blade just doesn't bite hard enough into the armor, given the blade doesn't have any kind of magical edge to it. So roll the damage, and we'll cut it in half.
It's 8 plus 5. 13.
13. Okay,
And a half.
cuts in, so it takes 6 points of slashing damage as you cut into it on that second blow. Cutting through the flames first and into it. Cool.
And I
There's-
guess that is the extent of what I
Yep, you're posted up now, the pair of you. One of you looking much better off than the other, but you're there. Blade covered in blood and flame, I guess, as we move to Ignis.
You can hit me if you need to.
You say?
I can definitely take it.
Because I'm angry, I'm gonna do some flavoring.
Angie.
No, you are filled with love. I'm
Angry.
sorry, but you can't feel any other emotion.
That's not how it actually
Resonating
works.
with emotion.
That's not how it works. Like I am in control of my
I know,
own
I'm
Love and
feelings.
hate are
with
two
you.
sides of the same
You're
coin.
right. You're right.
All love is directed at my sister. You can go fuck yourself. First attack, slash at it with my short sword. Am I flanking with them?
And that,
Along with the dancing longsword on the
Fucking
other side.
sure.
I mean, that makes
If
sense.
fine.
someone is above a player, is it flanking?
I'm not. I
You landed.
landed.
Oh, you landed.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll say it. Even if it's not strictly 90-degree angle flanking,
Rachel?
since you've got this
Anybody?
and the longsword, we'll go for it.
Did nobody give me a... Rachel didn't give me a thing?
No.
Okay.
She might be doing homework.
That's less.
She's gonna become
lame.
a lawyer or
Um,
some shit.
Did we come up with a rule where we said we couldn't give each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We absolutely cannot redeem that option for
It's
any
called
day.
cheating.
Yeah, I guess
17.
17 to hit?
Yeah.
Yep, just clink against the armor.
Well, I did attack, so I'm going to use my ranger ability of distant strike to teleport 10 feet. And I teleport.
I wish I had a Dragon Ball Z soundboard, like the instant transmission, like. Yoink!
I teleport to my dancing longsword.
Oh!
Behind it.
Fucking dope.
Nice.
Like, you teleport
And-
up and behind it, grab the sword, and
Grab
go
the
for a
s-
slash?
Yep.
10 out of 10.
For the flavor.
Like that.
That's
like
cool.
like
That's fucking dope.
certain Mr. Uchiha.
Yeah, very, very.
That's
Hey?
all.
And we
That's the
rolled
only
well.
power he used
And we
anyway,
rolled
Ever.
well.
So.
Hey, it's the best one.
Yeah, but there are multitudes of
We'll
others
talk
that
after
were
the
even
stream.
better.
We'll talk after this.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I have words.
This has been Weeb Corner.
26.
Yeah, this
Bars of
has
New
been
York.
Weeb Corner.
Because I have thought about this. 26, and I'm doing
26? Yeah, that
two-handed
hits.
fucking
That hits.
down.
I mean, as you go down and slash into it, you notice its armor feels softer with its flames surging up and around it, as it is like almost completely engulfed in its own fire now, and that definitely hits.
Yeah. Okay.
And the longsword is magical, since it was dancing longsword, so you don't have to worry about decaying damage here.
Cool. That's 11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay, you bring it down through the back of this thing, and you see flames leaking out of it, dribbling in a way that flames shouldn't behave. Like they're moving like liquid almost down its back, along with still surging over it. There's a huge scar in its armor. So now you're basically behind it, right?
I mean, in a sense for flavor, I'm on top of it almost. For a
Yeah,
second.
great.
For like a second. What I'm going to do is like jump, pull free, and as I'm just feeling it because I'm so close to death. Backflip off, and then with bonus action, I let go of the dancing longsword, and it tries to do it again.
So you, oh great, down, like kick off of it, the sword on its own, and goes in again.
Yes.
Great.
It's anime as hell. It's
Dancing
so
longsword,
great.
that is what it is.
I've been rolling so poorly, but at least
Go
it'll
for it.
look good.
Go for it.
Oh, you need to talk nice to your dice, I think.
Is that a grip?
Still no. Not flanking. Not
Flanking.
Okay.
From the longsword alone, I don't know about it. If the attack's coming from the longsword,
It's right off of me, and it's.
if I don't think I can give flanking advantage to an object, even if the object is sentient.
It
I
has.
don't think I can.
I
do
will
that.
argue. It is not. It has nothing to do with sentience. The reason flanking works is because there is a threat from one end and then the opposite end. Therefore, making the person have to look one way or the other. It might not say in the rules.
Let me look up what the
but
exact
I do
rules
think
for
Wizards of
flanking
the
in
Coast,
this.
you can at me. That is wrong. Spiritual weapon and flying weapons like this should be able to be flanking because
'cause
it
it
is
is a
the
threat.
of getting hit, not the fact that there's a sentient being behind you.
Someone thought.
It's not like the fucking person would just be like,
No,
oh,
this is fine. The way this is being explained, if trace an imaginary line between the two friendly characters' centers, if the line passes through opposite borders of the opponent's space, including corners of those borders, then the opponent is flanked. So even if the sword is coming down from the top of the thing, you've got one or the other of you on a direct perpendicular line that's
It's like
it's flanking. I'll allow it.
you just went into that meme where it's all the numbers
Yeah, I
of
can
the
see
woman.
them. I can see them.
I haven't rules lawyered in a while. I
Still good.
apologize. I
Not
apologize.
rules lawyered.
Legitimate.
Let's leave
What's
that
the second
lawyering
roll?
to Rachel, right?
25.
That is going to hit. What was the first roll?
3.
Yeah,
So
no,
like,
that's not
yeah. So that's why I was like, I need this.
Please. Can you imagine crit failing on the sentient longsword and having that stab one of you?
Well, I rolled like shit. 9 points of damage.
You're not. You're joking. 9. Okay. Yeah. It takes like that second stab back almost through the scar that you carved in it, digging deeper before pulling out again. More of that flame spilling out of its back. It is shuddering in place.
So close. Fuck me.
And you can start to hear the fire. Not in the way that fire should sound. The fire sounds like
little
tinkling sounds all over this thing's metal body as it's sort of tink, 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 stuttering to turn towards you.
Cool. I haven't used my movement. I run. And I run.
Back to the gate. Open it up.
I run so far
Please!
away.
I'm begging you, please!
I go
I need a Gatorade.
away from, like, if I do, like, a triangulation from Angelo's here, Terra's behind me, I'm gonna go...
Into the fields.
Into the fields.
Into the fields.
55 feet.
Run!
I go.
I did my work. I'm gone. Yeah, you're just like out.
It's like a half. Yeah, it's like a half blink, half.
Bye,
move
friends. See ya. Yeah, sort of shuddering in place.
And
out
I
that
think
way.
as I reach, or no, it probably does it at the end of the next turn. Never mind. You're good.
Great. Terra, you're free.
I would like to. Terra gets up and kind of limps
Ouchie.
forward a little bit. She's like, I would like to cast a personal favorite of mine. Toll the Dead. Twice. Because I'm going to use Quicken Spell, one of my meta magic features.
Okay.
So I need.
We take a little feet.
I did take a little
Good,
bit.
spicy little feet. You said this magic's mine now.
Yep.
I own this. It's 2 wisdom saves, right?
Yes, 2 wisdom saves.
I'm the sorcerer now.
First
One of
one
the sorcerers.
is
Either
23.
That one passes.
Second one is a nat 20.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm literally not. You can look at it.
All right. Well, I'll roll the damage and they get.
I think you'll be okay. Let me
No.
say it this way.
I don't think
Roll
so.
roll the damage on the first one.
I don't think.
I think
so.
success on a cantrip means it just negates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they don't.
It was half sometimes.
Oh
as a
wait,
cleric.
so they
There's
both
nothing.
negate.
Cleric.
Okay.
I'm fucking pissed.
So you, that's. Are you moving anywhere, or are you staying put?
How far away from the construct am I?
You are at this point you were, oh god, 5, and then it moved 25. You're 30 feet away.
Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit, but I'm moving 15 feet, cause my thigh is, ow.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just
I'm-
back 15 feet, so you're now a full, 45 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we move to the construct's. We move to the construct's turn, and it. The steam juts out of its head sharply now, and it shutters towards you, Ignis. And with a grandiose.
What's the range?
The range is 120 feet.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you fucking kidding
I
me?
should have healed you. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna end it.
I have advantage.
The heat haze charges all around it with its flames surging all over its body. A la the Destroyer in Thor.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
The beam traces up the ground first because it's so unstable. It has to use the ground as a tripod point before it shoots that beam of flame right up and at you. I'll need a dex save.
I get advantage. Ooh.
You do? You do get
probably won't
advantage.
need it, but maybe I...
Nat 20, baby.
He rolled a 19 and a 20.
I will, you know what, just for the flavor, I will give it to you. This beam rockets up and you just fucking over it as the beam just careens into the sky.
Not the
You
I rolled a 19 and I was like, I literally was about to say out loud, I don't even need the advantage.
I just scorches up into the air and
That's
you
a
completely
31.
avoid it. A little piece of your fancy robe or fancy cloak or whatever part of clothing that you like is a little burned.
Nothing fancy, but yeah. There's
Whatever piece of clothing you're partial to, a little singed, a little tarnished by this point.
Eyes go dark.
How dare you touch the fit?
It then, seeing the scar in the earth just miss you, it dum, 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 it just starts running towards you.
Every time.
It's Terminator running straight towards you, blazing a light as it goes. And that's where its turn's
Wait.
going to end.
Do I get an opportunity?
How close are you to?
You were in melee range.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly do.
Okay.
Oh no. Do it.
I'm going to attack.
What if it falls
my
upon
idea is that it
Ignis?
has literally like 2 hit points.
The way that we'll
Go.
react to him, you said 9.
I'm like 55 points away.
Go off one.
It's got 10. What? 2 hit points.
26.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Two-handed again.
So it's a D10 plus
What if you crit fail and you?
D10 plus Dex.
I mean, with Dex, it's gonna.
11.
How do you want to do this?
So when he turns and starts to run, Angelo sees this, and he's gonna take the sword. He's just gonna swing it like
The
a
katana,
bat.
right?
Yeah, the
I
katana.
can hear the demon slayer music playing in my head, right?
as colorful water and
Yeah.
flames just flying out. But he's gonna slice through where the neck and head meets, just to
Yeah,
lop
you
the head
just
off.
cleanly, as it does the beam up towards Ignis and then centers its body, it begins to run. The click of the katana out the sheath, right?
A flash of light.
Yeah. A few blades of grass get cut.
A moment
in
of
the-
pause. The
I
air
imagine-
that has been.
If this thing could breathe, it would go. No, it couldn't be. But it can't breathe
Right.
or talk. So you just clean cut right across the joint that's already melted as it is and scarred by these attacks. And this lantern-like head cling, rotates in midair. And before this thing touches the ground, the rest of its body briefly, completely envelops quietly in this yellow-green flame and almost turns completely to ash. So as this lantern head falls down to the earth, it disrupts all the flame and ash beneath it before that helm turns itself into this fine, steely ash tinged with yellow-green light as all of that ash cloud floats on the wind and wends through the air back to the northeast.
Northeast.
The field is quiet.
Ignis falls to the ground in the grass. Just like. Just lays out.
Next to the steaming scar of the beam,
Yeah.
you hear somewhere from back in the on the walls. Hold! Guards! Hold your line! Shoulder your crossbows! And from somewhere even further down the wall, a rapid bell. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. The sound of passing danger and a breath of ease. And in this quiet field steaming with unholy flame and riddled with ash, this is where we'll pick up next week. Congratulations on surviving your first fight with
As mortals.
as
again.
mortal beings in like 3 months. In 3 fucking months, nearly 4 now.
I have to be more careful because I think part of my
Yeah,
brain was still
yeah,
playing
I
as
think
we
so,
were
right?
going like,
You-
fuck yeah.
I do not know you as a person. Well, I say that, but you know, you did get your shit clapped by doing the exact same thing as a monk before, right?
That's very
both
true.
both characters though I am RPing as a little arrogant.
Sure,
That is-
sure.
yeah.
And what did we learn, right? But I think even still, I don't consider you're a thoughtful fighter, and that there's godly arrogance and mortal arrogance, right?
Yes.
Good stuff, guys. I am liking playing back in like a grounded world. This
Yeah.
is fun. This is only the beginning, right? This
Right.
barely
Yeah.
scraped it. So we'll be right back here for a full session. 1 Monday from now, right? There's nothing
One
nothing
Monday
crazy
from now.
in the way. Yeah, a week.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good stuff. My folks at home there, tell somebody what they mean to you. You know, keep your friends close, your enemies closer as it goes. Make sure you're following us on all the relevant social media platforms, Discord especially of the bunch.
No matter how much you have to pee, do not do it on the street.
Yeah.
No, don't do it. Do it on
Contrary to what Will
stream,
says.
not on the street. Thank you very much. I think we're gonna raid somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, and also thank you for the raid, D&D with me. Thank you very much. Come join our Discord if we just started this campaign and we're updating people about what our characters'
right, that's fun.
backstories are.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That'll definitely be a fun thing to show all the choose your own adventure things that we did on the Discord.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it will provide a lot. It's provided a lot of context for me. Like even doing this combat session and little RP session, like I know where these characters live because of what we did. Good stuff. All right, friends,
TPK
enjoy
roleplay.
yourselves. Where are we going?
TPK roleplay.
TPK, a classic. Good stuff. Show your love to TPK, and we will see you 1 week from now. Have a lovely rest of your week. Enjoy yourselves. Fare thee well.
Start now.
There we go. Yeah, we're gone. We're gone.
So nice.
Cool.